And welcome to the Beyond 540 Studio Season 4. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hope everyone is doing well out there. It's good to be here, and we're going to talk about some stuff. But, other than that, we have our panelists here. Cash Money might be late for the show, like usual, late and gay. That's how it is. And I do see Prismatics is in the chat. So, Pris, if you have time, you're always allowed to pop in, of course, whenever you want. But other than that, of course, I'm here with Baron Ormentag. How are you, brother?
Yo. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying life as best as I can.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. And of course, we are here with the Kilted himself. Hello to you, brother. How are you doing?
I'm alive on the outside.
You are alive on the outside, but in the
Yes,
inside,
it's always
are
a
you
plus.
alive?
It's the verdict is still out yet. Isn't out yet. So we're getting there. What?
Had any fun with the Daredevil show?
Yeah, it's a show.
Wow.
I know. I heard your stream yesterday about it. I think the discussion gets shorter and shorter every time you watch an episode.
It's a
That
show.
good.
I'm watching people praising it left, right, and center. This one single episode, and I'm like, how? Why? Yeah, okay. If you like it, cool. Yeah, good for you. It was. I was bored. Like I've been bored these episodes. Like it's not anything remotely what I was expecting. I'm going into it not knowing anything about the previous episodes, and I'm sure some defenders online was like, you just didn't know what the other. Like you're right. I'm coming into this fresh, and like I've said about, I believe I said this about Ahsoka. You're not doing a very good job getting me interested to go back and watch the other shows.
Oh, exactly.
You're introducing a character to a new audience because some people may not have watched the Netflix show, didn't have it. But when you take over, hey, maybe a good idea to give people motivation to go watch the other stuff.
Exactly.
I was expecting more, I guess.
Oh, exactly. No, I agree with that. And of course, we do have Techno Sapien Geek, aka Tom. Also, yeet or no yeet? That's a good question, people. And how are you, brother? The Wrestle God himself.
About the same as Kelted. Maybe alive on the inside. I don't know.
I never said I was dead anywhere. I said I'm alive on the outside.
Oh, I'm totally dead.
Guaranteed, I'm alive on the outside. Call it what you want. I'm here. Hi.
Well, I'm not then, so But yes, no.
Yes,
I'm going to
disagree.
disagree.
I can see you on the screen.
Yeah, I know. Or is an illusion.
Oh,
it's
you
all
said
AI. Everything's AI nowadays.
Yeah, maybe he is.
But no, I'm actually going to disagree with you on that. And I hated the very first episode. So I'm going to give a spoiler if anybody hasn't watched it yet. Thing. They promised two characters. One of them is alive. The other one they killed off. We all know who I'm talking about.
Foggy's not dead.
I don't know how you're going to list there's a Lazarus pet in this universe, which there's not. It's like,
Everyone, the discussion is that Foggy has faked his own death numerous times in the
I thought about that.
Show.
And I'd love to see that because he's one of my favorite characters from the original. If nobody's seen it, go back and watch the original series. I actually did again. I watched it when it was on, but I rewatched it again before this because it's such a good series. I watched every episode up until the recent one. I watched that today. Okay, I understand the psyche they're trying to build with him because he's starting to lose. He's talking about Foggy, he's searching out there. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's building up to, okay, I understand what they're trying. I still wish they wouldn't have killed him, and hopefully he isn't dead, but I can see his bit. Now, the thing I hate is he hasn't been Daredevil for almost every episode. He's just Matt, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I want to see the Daredevil. We've only seen it, once, I think. So that's annoying. I mean, this is the show called Daredevil, not Matt Murdock. No. So that's kind of dumb. Like, it's mostly a lawyer.
Daredevil.
It's mostly a lawyer show. Now, I understand, but the build-up's taking way too long. It's taking way too long. They're taking forever to get to this. No, it should have been there like 3 episodes in. Now we're 8.
It's a lot of things they could have shortened down.
Yes, 100%.
It's a lot of
100%.
it.
And don't be wrong, he does a great Daredevil. He does. I loved the original series, and I think he's amazing at it. It's just you haven't played this character in this series much. And I like the series. I like where they're building, but it's taking too long to get there. It's just a little too much. Just too much. Too much.
Hope
like
you're not expecting more Frank Castle.
Oh,
yeah,
it is
that's
going to be interesting to see the last episode, what they're going to do. For people like, for example, like me and Kilted, can they redeem themselves with the last episode
Not
for
one,
me and him?
not with one episode.
the guy Kingpin. He plays a great Kingpin. I think he's a great Kingpin. I love the way he does it.
He's a great
Anybody-
Kingpin.
Vincent
of course.
D'Onofrio. Vincent
Awesome actor.
D'Onofrio.
Great actor, great actor. But other than that,
Yes.
Tom, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? How are you? What have you done on your channel?
Just trying to do a lot of gaming stuff right now. I finished Days Gone until the end of the month where the expansion comes out, the DLC. So I'm now back in Fallout 3. I had some blank issues. I'm recording it and getting them up. I got to do some more tonight. Just whatever, I'd like to do some more Destiny, but you got to rebuy expansions, blah, blah. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Waiting for Mania. I watched Dynasty this past weekend. Brilliant pay-per-view, AEW, but that ending was garbage. We're tired of it. Get rid of the Death Riders. Pathetic. It made no sense. Just, the Bucks return, blah, 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 whatever. And Mania build-up is amazing. Like your favorite.
Oh, I like
EO
that. Yeah.
The way they're building EO up, like she's being pushed aside, and she just attacked everybody this past week. Like she's pissed.
I know.
She was like, "Dive it out!" They're like just walking down and yelling at her and attacking her.
Yeah.
She's good. I hope she wins. And I love Rhea. Rhea's my girl, but I'm like, I hope EO wins. Like,
yeah, she
prove
deserves
yourself.
to win. She deserves
Hell
to
yeah.
win like this.
So,
Yeah. It's a great build up. It's a great build up. She deserves to win this year.
The Cena Cody match looking good, but everybody wasn't big on the Jay run, which I've been a fan of Jay for years. I'm a huge Uso fan. I love them. They were a great tag team.
Yeah, I love the
when
Usos myself.
When he took on Roman like 4 or 5 years ago before the Bloodline stuff, he took him on for the belt, and I was wanting him to win. He never did. Because remember, he was attacking Jimmy. Blah, blah. Many years later, this angle's been kind of slow, but I think wrestling fans are idiots sometimes. Because they're like, he wins the Rumble, they're like, oh,
like
Jay
every
sucks.
fandom ever, but
You
we will
were
always
cheering
find
him
idiots.
like 2 weeks ago. You're loving him. Now you're all booing. I'm like, shut up. And then he's sitting there cutting a true promo. This week was one of the best promos he's ever done. It was just, he comes down, slaps the mic out of his hand, and Clark's serious. They're yeeting. The fans are yeeting as he's pouring his heart out. I'm like, shut the F up, you idiots. Yeet. He's talking about his pure fans are dumb. Yep. Fans are stupid.
So they can be really dumb.
My brother's bloody and stuff. Yeet. That's not a yeet moment, you jackasses. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
People really
I totally get you on that. Yeah.
They want to get themselves over. Fans are annoying. Modern fans can be annoying as hell.
They can be. Yeah.
Like, shut up.
And for me, what I've been doing recently is, of course, I watched the Devil May Cry show. I don't care about, a lot of the haters. I enjoyed it for what it is. I like that it mirrors a lot of the games and also is a different story. At the same time, really enjoyed it. Really did. We are going to talk a bit more about, stuff about that later today. Without
Kenny Omega is going to be doing a voice for one of those characters, I guess. He's set to do a voice
and
for
Kevin, and people remember Kevin Conroy was in the show. Not many people knew that he was one of the voice actors for one of the big characters. It's great that he also got to play here for the stuff that he did get to do before he passed away. There was another voice actor who did some of the lines for his character because, again, they didn't get every line that they wanted. So instead of using digital voice and stuff like that, they got another voice actor who sounds alike with the vocals, the voice acting. Really enjoyed it for what it is. So I've been watching that. I have been rewatching the Bloodsport movies. Yes, there is more than one. The first one will always be the best, but I also enjoyed the second one, third one, and the fourth one. Even though the fourth one, it is the same actor who played in the 2 sequels before, just as another character. So that was kind of confusing when you were young. But no, I rewatched them. I did see that they do actually have like a female version. The last movie they did in 2016, Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Just a hardcore skip. It was so badly done. And then I saw that they are gonna do one more Bloodsport. That's in the works, and I'm
What?
yes. Can you just
Bolo
get
Young was in the
Yeah,
first
Bolo
one, if I'm not
Young.
mistaken.
Yeah, Bolo
Diehard fan of
Young.
Bolo. Such an
And
underrated martial
again, I will
artist.
say it like this, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he wants to play in Bloodsport again. He's been wanting that for so long. And if you are making a new one, just get him on the goddamn project. Just get him on this fucking movie and let
Let's
him
get the accusations cleared up against him. Okay. Let's work on that first.
But again,
2 days
just
ago, 1 day ago to revise.
But yeah, Bolo Young is such an underrated guy in the industry.
yeah.
Used to
And
work
he
with
has a
Bruce
son,
Lee.
one of his sons too, like one of his sons too, Bolo too, plays small parts in movies. I say get Jean-Claude back, as his character. You can get a new character, that's fine, but have him in there as a mentor or something. Then get the son of Bolo Young in it and make, connected with the old ones and do something proper. I really want a proper sequel to Van Damme's storyline, and just let him control most of the movie and stuff like that. And I think that would be great.
Well, it's sort of like
And
the Creed films were supposed to be a continuation of Rocky becoming a trainer, but then they kind of get rid of him out of
yeah,
the last two. I'm like, no, I didn't like that when you took him out because that was stupid. He
yeah,
was his trainer. I
no,
was passing the torch, and then it just became. And I like the other actor, but no, it's still no.
yeah, no, I totally get you. I totally do.
Mm.
No, for me it stops with the last Rocky movie. That's where it stops for me. The side movies, I don't really care much for them. It's like they're not super terrible, but it's not Rocky, dude. It's like I want I want to see I want to see Sly.
Well, he was in the first one, if I'm not mistaken, the Creed movie.
Yeah, he
I
was. He
think,
was.
but
A
and I like that
mentor
one
and
because
stuff
you
like
bring him
that.
up, he
Yeah.
helped train him. But then they get rid of him after that. I'm like, what the? No, it was stupid.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm also gonna do a rewatch of the Rocky movies. There's a lot of old movies that I'm doing rewatch on, and it's a lot of fun to just go back and rewatch old movies. Boxing, martial arts, and all this kind of stuff. I just love it. Going back and rewatch stuff. And I have a lot of on the list of old Jet Li movies: Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, Sumo Hung, Bulu, Bolo, of course, and a lot of other people that I just want to rewatch, old movies about and shit like that. It's a lot of
I
fun.
finished watching this week a good series that started last year, Shogun. That was freaking good.
Oh yeah, I love it. That's a great
Yeah.
fucking series.
Wow, that was good.
It's really good. It's really good. And I want to say thank you to everybody out there who has been supporting my music projects that I've been working hard on. So many people have bought my albums and giving me a lot of praise and good criticism, and I appreciate it. So I just want to say, take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody out there who's been supporting it and buying it. It means the world to me. Always wanted to create some albums, music and albums and all that kind of stuff for so many years since I was an emo kid back in high school. When you start like doing music and all that shit. So it's been a fun journey, and I am excited to create a lot more in the future. And I can also announce that my book that I am doing is kind of finished. The story is at least finished. Stuff are, I've written down the full story and everything like that. Right now, it's going to like some small fixes with some dialogue, some context, and some small portions here and there. I've been writing on this book for a long time now. And Cash Money is a little bit on the project now, and I think that's fun. Shout out to Cash Money for joining the project and stuff like that. And it is called The Forsaken, and I am really excited to talk more about it at a later point, and give some more information about the book and what it is about, and stuff like that. Really excited for it. And of course, it is an R-rated book when it comes to action and all that kind of stuff. I don't make kid-friendly stories. It's not my thing. So really excited for the project to go forward. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, but other than that, of course, we're also gonna get into some topics for tonight. And who's excited to go through some stuff tonight? Are you guys
Go.
excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm
Yeah,
about to lose control, and I think I like it.
well, we are actually not gonna start with anything negativity, actually. So we're actually gonna be positive. Oh my God. Listen to that.
I can't
We
handle
being
that.
positive? No, we can't
I
nobody can
can't
handle
handle
us.
that. No,
Exactly.
no.
No, we are supposed to be
I'm only negative.
negative
I
and
don't
all
believe in
that.
positive. I'm Mr. Black Pill.
Yeah, right. But I want to talk about this for a little bit. It was posted. It came out the 3rd of April. But I wanted to mention this. Dark City, the nearly forgotten 90s cult classic from the Crow director, gets a 4K UHD release. And I am excited for this as a collector. I am absolutely gonna buy, Dark City, 4K and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, it will get like a steel cover also, because I love to collect steel covers. I still need to get the new version of the not the new movie. I'm gonna get the new movie of the Crow too, but the original Crow movie, because it did re-release it, with steel cover and everything. So I also need to buy that in steel cover, the original one. And I love Dark City. It is a really underrated movie. It's a unique movie. It's what do people say? It's Matrix before Matrix. In a way, it's like it's. So people here on the panel, you have seen. Have you guys seen Dark City?
Many years ago.
It sounds familiar. I probably have seen it.
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
No, so as a collector, I'm really excited for this. I'm happy that it gets like a new release, in 4K. And it is a big cult classic, It is a big cult classic. And a really great movie too. I think it's great. So, the good people at Arrow Video have announced an upcoming 4K Ultra HD release of vastly underrated 1998 steampunk noir Dark City from director Alex Proyas, aka also who did the original Crow movie, one of the best movies ever created. Or for me, the best movie ever created. For me.
I thought that was Rebel Moon.
A second place. Second place. Rebel Moon is on it's second place.
Look at
yeah.
checking.
Yeah. No, nothing is gonna beat the Crow.
Wait a sec. Oh, I'm gonna call you on that. You said that was better. You said Rebel Moon was #1 at one point.
Yeah, it's number one when it comes to Star Wars. When it comes to Star Wars, not the Crow.
Yeah, Tom, I know exactly what you mean. That's why I called him on it.
Yeah.
Well, then, if I've said that, I have misspoken. But Rebel Moon is one of the number ones in my list. Like, if I'm gonna go from sci-fi movies.
I'm with you on that. Crow is one of my all-time favorites too. So I lie. You've seen it in the original. I didn't see it in the theater originally, but luckily they reran it in the theater a couple of years ago, and I went again. I was like, "Yay! Finally get to see it."
And the funny thing about the release of the Crow, also when it came to DVDs, VHRs, and all that kind of stuff, that's the extended version too, because the original movie they showed missed a lot of stuff, so they added in a lot more context to the VHRs and all the stuff they had back in the day. So they added back a lot of stuff to that for the better, of course. But let's see here. It will be available to order on June 24th, along with 2001's Swordfish and Roadhouse. The original Roadhouse is a fun movie too.
Oh, the original Roadhouse
Roadhouse,
is
yeah,
uh,
Roadhouse.
one of my all-time
Uh,
favorites. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. From 1989. But this article isn't about vastly overrated movies. The limited edition 4K Blu-ray set will include the acceptable theatrical cut, the superior director's cut, and enough bonus features to create an eternal night for all fans of the forgotten classic. So I'm really excited about that. You know, we have the director's cut, we have the original cut, and of course a lot of extra materials, and I love that, you know, with movies when you have a lot of, you know, extra materials behind the scenes, you know, learn more about the movie concepts, all, you know, all this kind of stuff is the fun part with movies too. It's like, again, you know, when it comes to Star Wars, I love watching behind the scenes, for example, you know,
Mhm.
Rebel Moon, I love to watch behind the scenes, you know, learning how they create these universes, the concepts, the how they create the scenes and all that. So I think that is really fucking great. There were actually a time, and not too long ago, when finding a physical copy of the film was harder than trying to find someone who can give an accurate directions to Shell Beach. But that spiraling goose chance has finally ended, and the time has come to shine a light on this flawed masterpiece for a new audience to discover. Now, so we're not gonna go through the whole thing, of course. The most important thing with this, it is getting a release on 4K Ultra HD, and if you are a collector, I think this is great for the people who collect, you know, physical media. You know, when it's out, go and get it. If you want to pre-order it, then pre-order it, whatever. And, you know, get it on your list, you know. It's a great movie, and it has a good cult following. And, you know, I would love to see this. I've never seen this in cinema, but I would love to have like a re-release in cinema with this movie, in like Super 4K in cinema. I think that would be great.
Hmm.
You're muted, Tom.
There's a lot of good people in this. You have Jennifer Connelly, William Hurt, and one of my favorites, a guy who is actually from my particular area, Keith Sutherland. I mean, his dad was born in my city, Donald. I mean, Keith is a very underrated actor. I'm a big fan of his for years, and
Mhm.
just he's one of the main characters in this. And it's been years
Yeah.
since I've seen it. It has a very cyberpunk, very steampunk type feel to it, which I've always liked. Hence, Blade Runner is my all-time favorite film. It's been a while since I've watched it. I have to go back and rewatch it again, but I do
Yeah.
remember I enjoyed it a lot. So it was ahead of its time, I always thought. So
Yeah, no, it was ahead of its time,
mm.
and no, really great too. Oh, I'm just gonna do something. There we go. Um, no, so any here on the panel, are you looking forward to this? Do you might get this to your collection with this movie?
I'm poor. I haven't bought a movie in a while, but I'll definitely watch it again. So somehow.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But
I need
yeah.
to
Yeah.
see it, so definitely take a gander at
Well, you know what we can do? Let's talk to Mike, aka Pacific 414. Let's do a watch party of this movie.
it.
We
Well,
need to do that
always a
because it is a
chance.
cult classic, and you know I think people will like it. You know, we should
Mhm.
do that watch party
Oh, I
together.
loved it when I seen it. It's been years, but it's such a good film. So
Yeah, it really is, and no, I'm absolutely gonna get it, and also get Crow, the original Crow movie in the 4K Ultra HD.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I'm gonna get both of them on at some point this year. And also, I'm also gonna, of course, a lot of people gonna disagree, but I also gonna get the new Crow movie on on Blu-ray when I can. I need it in my collection too.
Yep, it's your
Um,
corner. I'm not going to stop you.
I know. But any final thoughts before we get to something else?
Hmm? Nothing on my pea brain.
Need to watch it, Baron.
Oh, I'll put it on that list.
Oh, it is a
Yeah,
good
look
movie. I
who's
seen
here.
it, like I said, when years and years ago.
Mhm.
So it's been around. I remember watching it, and it's a brilliant film. So it's just, yeah.
It
Mhm.
was over its time. It was over its time, you know. And,
So
and we have Comic Relief Crusader in the chat saying, "So, hail,
hey,
brother.
brother, I will see
Hope
you
you're
Hey,
doing
tomorrow.
Mike, how
good.
you
Get
doing?
there.
Hope you are doing well. I sent you the link if you want to pop in. You're always allowed to pop in if you have some time. I would love to have you on.
Ooh, more part of the
Um,
Canadian invasion.
yeah, we need a Canadian
We're taking
invasion.
over. We're making you the was it 11th province? Come on, America, be the 11th province.
Eh?
Exactly, for sure.
Exactly. Uh, aye. So yeah, comic. You have the link if you want to.
But yeah,
But
this
yeah,
would be a good release. I mean, it's an older film that I wonder if it's just a money grab. They need some more money, so let's re-release an old film. So, but a lot of people do that. Like Blade Runner was finally released to DVD. Remember years ago, if anybody remembers the history behind Blade Runner, Ridley Scott would not release it. He would not re-release the original theatrical for
yeah,
years. And people fought
Yeah.
him on it. Come on, give us theatrical release, because he had his director's cut, which I hated. Once they took his
Mhm.
narration out, that ruined the film for me. He finally released it, and I want to get it on Blu-ray. There's actually
yeah.
the
It
box
is
set.
a really, it is a real divided base on that whole. Some people liked it without. Some people loved it
Mhm.
with narration.
To me, I'll cry at that final scene when Regger Hauer is doing the scene of
Yeah,
tears in the rain. I literally, it does give me goosebumps
That's
just
what
thinking
y'all
of
were
it.
talking about.
Oh, it's just a brilliant scene. Just like, well, then when you think of Dark City, I think of Blade Runner. It's also in that
Oh, okay.
cyberpunk steampunk area, and it's
yeah.
a
The
classic film.
cyberpunk noir,
Yeah, and
sci-fi-ish
also a film that
world and all that. Yeah,
And just like that movie, Dark City's finally getting a release. How many years after? It was like in the 80s when it was released, 90s, I think. Blade Runner took forever to release because Ridley Scott was
yeah.
fighting to release it, but it finally, and there is finally a few years ago Blu-ray, and I'm trying to get that on Blu-ray, the theatrical and international release. So, but yeah, no, that's good to see this film being re-released. It was a classic film. I remember watching. I don't think I seen this at theaters, but I watched it in VHS. Remember those? Many
Yeah,
years
remember those?
eons
Yeah.
ago. And yeah, it was a good. I'll definitely watch it again. Would I buy it once I start making a lot of money? That'll be on the list of movies I probably would rebuy again, because I did own it on VHS at one time, I think. But yeah, no, it's definitely a film to watch. So
Yeah. No, it's good to have in the collection. It's a movie that's worth to have in your collection. And same with the old Blade Runner movies. I know they had like a pack with like most of their releases of the movie
Yeah,
in Blu-ray
I
and
got
stuff
that.
like that.
Yeah, I got that. The five, five disc.
And we do have Fast Forever. Dark
stay here
City
for a second.
is
I'll be back.
better as
Hey.
far as I'm concerned. Hail there, Baron.
Okay, funny.
Hey, there you go. There's John Rendell, my Super Ranch. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, and that's from your side of YouTube.
Yep.
So again, to everybody who's watching, we are streaming on 3 different channels. On Cash Money, who hopefully will be here at some point. And of course, Baron Orman Tag's channel also.
Yo.
So hail to you from all of us. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no, I also want to get, the whole package of the Blu-ray set with Blade Runner and get the different cuts and stuff like that.
Well, actually, I was trying to dig it out. It's put away somewhere. It's the briefcase. I have it. It comes with the little car, the folded thing in it, and all the releases: the the workshop release, the international, the theatrical, and also the original theater. It's a really good. And it also has there's like 5 different discs to it. It's an amazing copy. Now, the one I got is the DVD one. I want to get updated to the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray versions, yeah.
And I want the briefcase one. And you can
get
Amazon somewhere. It's not cheap, but
it's not cheap, but I want it too. I want to see all of the versions again. It's like I've seen all of them before, but I want to see all of them again, and I kind of want that in. I want it in my collection because it is worth it. It is worth it.
Theatrical is the best. People say. I think the international, because the international doesn't cut out any. There's a few scenes that was not in the theatrical, like I think the eye pop where Roy pops the eyes with his fingers. And then there's another scene too. There's kind of a scene, people don't realize, and I can bring this up. There's kind of a scene where an R word scene with Rachel. It seems kind of R-y, if you know what I mean. It's
I know
he's
what you
kind of
mean.
forcing. Yeah, that seems quite controversial. So I don't know if that was in the theatrical, but it is in the international.
Oh, I don't.
So,
Yeah. With
but
the
it's such a
theoretical,
brilliant
I don't
film.
remember if that was in there. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen them.
Oh, I watch it every other year, so I love that film. It is one of my all-time favorite films. So it's just such a classic.
It is. It is.
It is.
Love Blade Runner.
As a filmmaker, that's the kind of film I'd like to do. A noir,
yeah,
cyberpunk type film. I've always said,
yeah,
with AI
in the
and whatever else.
cyberpunk world, the cyberpunk noir style, and do
Yes.
something crazy, and no, that is a really fun thing too. That's basically with my book that I have created and stuff. It is a little bit of a cyberpunk noir style, so I like those universes too. And Dark City is the same.
Yes, exactly. It has a steampunk, cyberpunk type feel to it. Always had it. It's really good film. Definitely worth checking out.
And unique. And Fest Forever said, "Hail to you all in the panel, and hail to you again. Good to see you on watching the show." And Tommy, the Guinea Pig Collective, hail to you. Hope you're doing good. And Dad also might be on Baron's side of the show.
Oh,
I think.
Okay, maybe
people are watching from your side too. Look at that.
Yeah, you're that or Cassius. So yeah, welcome, Tommy.
Like somebody's watching me.
So I hope you are doing well, Tommy. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hope you enjoy the show. But we are going to talk about some other stuff too, of course. So at least some good news. We're getting a re-release of Dark City. But we are also going to talk about Lawrence Fishburne and Matrix.
What?
Oh, yes. So, Lawrence Fishburne was rebuffed when he offered to return for the Matrix Resurrections. So he has conditions for a potential fifth movie. It depends on the circumstances and who is involved. The only thing I hate to say, he is dead in the original universe, the character, and back in the day, you had to play. It was one of the Matrix online games. It was like the MMO, the online thing. If I don't remember wrong, I remember that time. And then is when you get to see his character die. And they did make that canon into the last movie they did, the fourth movie that doesn't.
No, wait, there's no fourth movie.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
There's barely a second and third movie.
I disagree with that. I
enjoyed them, but some people don't like them. I actually like.
Yeah, I don't care what people say.
I thought the
I love them.
I love them too.
But that last one, I don't know what that was.
I still, I enjoy the second and the third also for the uniqueness and what they did. I enjoyed them, but the first one is, of course, a superior one and the best one.
And they should have, that MMO game could have been something great if done today. It was done in the days where online gaming was still kind of made a fresh thing. So they didn't really know what to do.
But a lot of people played it. A lot of people played it. It was a favorite to a lot of people. But unfortunately, they killed the universe. Yeah, they did have two. The Path of Neo. I loved Path of Neo. I played that a lot.
I got them.
And the other one was with two of the other characters. With is it the wife of Will Smith's character?
Yeah, her and Ghost, her partner Ghost. Yeah. It's not a bad. It's fun for what it is. It was okay. I played them both.
Yeah, it was fun for what it is. Not the best, but it was fun for what it is.
Yeah.
I rewatched Animatrix a couple of weeks
ago.
ago.
Animatrix is so good. I do own it.
Oh, so much fun. I went out and I had to go track it down. I went to a local Second and Charles. And
nice.
I was looking for it in the animation. I was looking for it just everywhere. And I was looking up the Animatrix. Looked under T, looked under A, looked all over the place. Couldn't find it. I thought, well, I'm not getting it. And something told me, go look under Matrix right there. And it was there. One copy. I'm like, that's mine.
That's yours. Yeah, exactly.
Now that's another
Oh,
series I want to get on Blu-ray. I got them all on DVD. I had them on VHS, including the Animatrix. I got to upgrade to Blu-ray.
yeah, I got
someday.
them all
That
on
whole
DVD
series.
also, and I
Yeah,
need to get
yeah.
them upgraded to Blu-ray myself.
Yeah.
That I need. But one would think Lawrence Fishburne was irreplaceable as Morpheus, a character who originated and embodied so well. Yet, when Matrix Resurrection came around, the producers proved that was not the case. They subbed a veteran actor with the on-rise, I cannot pronounce his guts, so I'm just going to call him Abdul. Haya Abdul something, which was purely a copyright move and not what Fishburne would have liked to see in Counter. And I remember when I went to the cinema and I saw this, when we saw this version of, Morpheus, it was kind of funny when I went to the cinema to watch this and the sound fucked up in the cinema, so they had to like pause the movie and fix the audio. And that was like, the first entrance, like you get to see this version, and you see that lady. The audio just cut out, so you were just like sitting there, like, oh shit, yeah, the audio doesn't work. It's like, so it was
I
like
remember going to see this, and I was like, well, "Who is this dude? What?" And I was like, "Oh no!" I was so not happy with this.
Me neither. So, he wanted to be in the fourth installment, as he told the panel on The View recently, and even offer. Yeah, he did.
Why is he in the View? Oh, poor fella had to be stuck with those creatures. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
He did it
but
willingly.
and maybe got a good payment, a good payment.
Probably.
Yeah, he probably got he probably got about an hour with Whoopi in the dressing room.
I'm trying to eat, man. Stop that.
But,
exactly.
Even and even offered his services. The producer, however, didn't respond well to that for whatever reason, and may have screwed themselves if they want to circle back to him for a future sequel. If he ever came back if they ever make a sequel of this and he suddenly comes back, to be honest, that would make no fucking sense, because again, this movie made no fucking sense. It depends on the circumstances, who is involved, and how well the script has been written. If they offer me, because I offered my services to the fourth Matrix, and they didn't respond well to that, it's not like I didn't say, oh, I like to offer my services. I did. And for whatever reason, that didn't happen. Okay, that's the truth. So, and you can also, of course, see him talk about it here if you want to.
No.
We But the Matrix Resurrections didn't have the impact of the first three films, especially the first one, because the first one is the best one. To most, it come across as hopeless cash grab and poorly convinced nostalgia bait. That was also turned to say, at least. Fishburne is noticeable by his absence, and when Variety caught up with him in 2022, they wanted to know his view from the outside. Though he tried to be diplomatic, the actor clearly wasn't impressed. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, Fishburne said. But I thought Carrie Ann and Kino really did their thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, at least great acting for of the main actors, but the story was shit.
Well, I noticed that image there. That's actually from John Wick. I remember he plays the adjudicator in that one, or dealing with the tells the adjudicator and stuff. And I remember that scene greatly. But him and Keanu worked together a few times, so they probably get along much. And that, but I was hoping to see him, and they didn't, and I was really disappointed in that. I was like, that's not him. But yeah, I hated
And again, it was just one of the brothers who made this. And they start talking about the whole, oh no, Matrix, at least the one, I don't remember which is which, but the one brother who created this started talking about, yeah, but the Matrix movies have always been a trans allegory thing to trans people and feeling uncomfortable in your. Yeah, one of the creators of the brothers came out and talked about, started talking about,
hated that.
No, it's like, no, just because you two think you're trans for whatever reason, it kind of makes no sense that you are, in my view, but
So you're trying to tell me that the Matrix is about two guys who go out there and get their wing wangs chopped off, a couple of fakies, and look like ugly women. Okay.
Basically, it's
because they look ugly. I'm sorry, they look horrible.
they do.
Dame Edna looked like a 10.
Like it's trans about passing. They don't pass. I'm sorry, Blair White. No, she passes. I will, but anyway, let's go there. No, The Matrix is about. First of all, it was future. It was ahead of its time. The first film. Let's be honest. It was ahead of its time. Talking about how the internet and was growing at the time. We were still just getting in there. AOL, internet, email, blah 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 blah. I was at the age where you had to take 15 minutes for one picture to show up, but then it was getting faster and faster.
And it was about AI, the future with AI and technology, robot, everything.
Where we're at now. It pretty much is where we're at now to an extent. Like where, and that's really told the future almost, and it was amazing, and it really broke boundaries. Keanu's been involved with many films that have breaking boundaries, like The Way It Was Recorded. Remember the infamous slow-mo scene where the bullet time and stuff, which came into video games and many other things. Now with John Wick, he does other stuff, which now changes the way movies are acted, even the way the army hold their guns. So Keanu's been involved with many projects, have changed the way many things. So it's like, but The Matrix is amazing, and this was just,
and it's not about trans stuff. It's not about trans stuff at all. And I like
Trinity, but they really focused too much on her in this film. It was the Trinity film, and
she was basically a chosen one too. They had to be together to be like a chosen one. The stupid. It's like, no, Neo was the chosen one in the story.
Yeah, he is.
It's
He's
all
the
Neo.
One. He can be himself outside of the world as well. Now he learned that power where he has the power on the outside of the world. It's like, wow. But then they just totally just nerfed him on that because he's a white male. But let's not go about that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought he was slightly Asian and Polynesian.
He is.
See, they're being racist. They're being racist.
But
that's it.
But again, even if you're Asian or if you are just a little bit too white on the skin, you are considered white no matter what. Even black people who are light skinned are considered almost as white people now. So.
Well, that's like that skit. If anybody goes back to the Saturday Night Live skit, well, there was one guy. Well, I'm a light skinned black, and that's why we talk like some people might remember what I'm talking about. We go way back. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
They've been doing these jokes from the 90s and 80s.
And I do know there were talks. They did talk about doing one more Matrix movie, and that movie was not, the original creators was not going to be part of it. It's going to be a new writer, new people on board with it. And I'm like, for me, it's going to be 3 movies. It's going to be 3 movies. And of course, the fourth one, Animatrix, with a lot of different short stories.
Well, I'll, as a person who loves that film, I would have loved to see one more film that ended, because the way the third one ended, you're like, okay, where's it ending there?
A proper ending. Let's get, I would have loved to see a proper ending of this universe, but we will never get that. We will never
Mr.
get
Smith
that,
and
unfortunately.
Neo. What happens to Mr. Smith? What happens to Neo?
Oh, you see what happens to Mr. Smith in this universe.
Well, I think you could have tied his story up better. Like, I think they should have unified and then saved the universe from everything else. And that could have been amazing. It's like, wow.
Exactly.
But, the combination of the AI and the human competing to have symbiosis and peace. That would have been the way to run it.
And Comic Relief Crusaders say, no more.
No, one more. Wrap it up properly. Damn it.
But then
Mhm, mhm.
again, we have to get good writers.
Yeah, wrap it up
Heck, me and you could
properly.
write
It's
good
not
stuff.
completely on fire and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But as far as missing out, he doesn't think he did. Not really. The field star remarked, anyone who's seen Resurrections would say those
All
who
10 of
haven't
them.
are missing out much, either, even if it's released in December 2021, which was the day and date with the theoretical window. Leaves their perception that the sequel was an afterthought. Like, I even watched interviews with this creator. I don't remember which one is which of those brothers, but I saw one of the one they've introduced, and that person is so high on something. Like, they've been taking drugs or smoked so much and was all over the goddamn place and really didn't even know what their own movie was about. They were like, it's like, they didn't even write it. Just like they had writers for them to make it, and they were like just all over the place, and mostly just a cash grab, trying to get money for it, and it flopped
Mhm.
hard. Um, Ultimately, Matrix quote unquote 4 was the final nail in the coffin for its production studio, Village Roadshow. They took Warner Bros. To court over its distribution and later declared bankruptcy. After that, the sensible thing to do would be to admit defeat. Yes. Still, Warner refuses and has announced that the fifth Matrix is in development.
What?
Yes, as I told earlier, there
They
were
didn't
talks.
lose enough money?
They didn't.
Not yet.
Okay, so Lana, one of the brothers, is just an executive producer. Okay. So that I didn't know that was announced, because when they talked about it, they said Lana would not be part of it, but it looks like they will. Either way.
Mhm.
But how much will they do with the story? I don't think they care much about the story anymore. They just want the money.
They want to tell their
um,
story.
and
Send me your
Drew
money.
Goodrad, The Cabin in the Woods. That film that had the gods at. Yeah, it was kind of weird, but it's like a little thing for people who loved horror movies and just like fun shit. Did not really care for the movie, but will fill the director's seat. So I'm gonna say this, Lawrence, you do not miss out. I am, to be honest, I'm happy you were not in it. Like, your character was dead. You have a recreated program version of that character that sucked and was terrible.
From
Uh,
Timu.
yeah, the Timu version. Even though I don't hate the actor, of course, who played him in quote unquote the fourth movie, but the script was terrible. A lot of scenes made no sense. You destroyed what was unique with the universe, removing that Neo was unique and was, the chosen one in this this franchise, and making Trinity basically everything that
Ugh.
is in this universe. And without her, Neo would be nothing. His powers would be nothing without her. And they have
Hey,
to collaborate and be together to work properly.
it's a bunch of BS. And don't get me wrong, Trinity's character's amazing. I love her character. She's a crucial part of the universe, but she's not the one. She was and that's what it made me so ticked off. I'm like, no, we got to go
Well,
woke. And it was kind of woke. It's like, we got to have the female. And I like the actress even. I'm a big fan of
that's
her. She's a good actress, but it was
Yeah.
stupid. They were pushing a stupid narrative. I'm like, shove that up here. But don't ruin the main story just
well.
to
That's
fill
that's
check
because
boxes.
the one was transitioning. It
Yes,
transitioned
Yeah.
from the
yeah.
man to the
Oh,
female. Come on, don't you get it? It's right there.
no.
This is all about their journey, man. Come
Do you
on,
know
man.
the last great Matrix thing actually was called The Matrix Awakens? I haven't yet to get a PS5. If I ever get the money, I'd like to. It was a demo. If anybody tried it for Unreal
Oh,
Engine
yeah.
for the PS5, I haven't tried it, but I've seen it. It's beautiful looking, and
It's
you can live the
beautiful
life
looking.
as a
Yep.
character in the Matrix. And I'm looking to try it eventually someday. That was the last good Matrix thing they've had. Not this whatever this attempt at was with
Yeah.
the film.
So I
This
think
is
we will
yeah.
agree, there is like the main story. It's only 3 movies. And then we have the side stuff with short stories. That's the Animatrix.
Well, the Matrix kind of helps build up to everything, which I love.
Yeah, build up
And
a lot.
About how robots and AI coexisted. The AIs just want to exist with humans, but then most humans kind of took advantage of it and ruined it. And it's like, wow. And then that started the war eventually. And then you ticked them off. You know, it's like, wow, it's a really good story.
Which is eventually
Always our
exactly.
So, you know.
Why you stay friends with an AI?
No, that's not how that works.
Oh yeah.
But no. So you know, he's done a lot of other great stuff recently, and you know he will continue doing great stuff there.
Oh, guy's an awesome actor. You know, he's a great. You know.
And even though they're gonna do a 5th movie, how are they gonna continue the story after quote unquote the 4th movie? What are you gonna do now? You already destroyed like the storyline. Like what the fuck are you gonna do now?
Maybe the 4th movie was an entire simulation. You can see.
Yeah,
you
it was
can write
just a
that off.
simulation. Yeah.
You can write that off because that's what this is. It's a whole simulation within the world itself.
Hey, we can do a James Gunn on it. It was just an unperfect memory.
Yeah. That's what the whole film is.
What? No. The Matrix resets every time. It's just, where do you go from it? You don't. You start over with a new one, a new situation. That's, I mean, they already explained it can be done. It would be done, and it would probably suck. But as far as entertainment goes, because nobody has any creativity anymore, we just keep getting slop and slop.
Exactly.
Slop.
No, that's so true, Kilted. That's so
Every
true.
once in a while, we get diamonds in the rough, like the Penguin.
How you could write this?
Yes.
The smart way to it is, let's be honest, the people still alive outside of the Matrix still exist. They don't forget what happened. So you can have them rebooting the Matrix and reinserting the old Matrix back again. Like an old program, reinserting it, going back to the way things
and just destroy Zion again.
Well, yeah.
But again, we need proper writers to make this work.
No, exactly.
Or you can just do this. You know, back in the day, there were movies had like sequels and stuff like that. But some movies was just like they pretend like the sequels didn't exist, and then they made like an official sequel. They used to do that back in the day. You can just do that. You know, the 4th one never existed, so this is the official 4th one with good writing. Just forget that the other one ever happened.
Or just do it the Fast and Furious stuff and make an unlimited amount of films just for something to do. And they kind of tie in, sort of, and they go to the moon now.
Tie in, sort of. Yeah, exactly. But I do want to say, Tommy said, have a nice stream. God, I can't even talk today. Have a stream to get ready for. Y'all have an excellent evening. Thank you and good luck with your stream. Have a great time, and thank you for being here. But no, just Lawrence, just focus on other stuff. Focus on action movies. Focus on other stuff. Don't bother with the Matrix. Either way, if your character died in the most stupidest way, and you died in a game that you can never play again, and all that. So yeah. Any final?
Please tell Keanu to run. Run, Keanu, run! Don't be part of this.
But any final thoughts about this situation?
Don't do it.
I can go on and on forever, but no.
Yeah. They're running into the ground. It's like typical.
No, exactly.
They really haven't been successful with anything else. Be honest.
No,
it was revolutionary, and exactly, and it was revolutionary for its time. I loved it. I seen them all in the theater, and it was revolutionary for its time, and it changed things. And it was just the way it was telling the future story of the way that you're like, wow, this is cool. Like a hacker sitting there getting these free programs, which I know people who do that, and and it's like wow. And then then it turns out he ends up living in that world. Turns out he's part of that world because that's the world around us. Supposedly. So it revolutionized storytelling. It was just, incorporating modern technology with storytelling, which seems to be happening nowadays. They say now your human consciousness can be saved for future use. You can put yourself into a robotic consciousness and it will exist on a hard drive. So I don't know how that works, but yeah.
I think they're fast becoming the M. Night Shyamalan of the cyberpunk / transgender movies. So, it's like, you have a couple good ones and the rest fall flat. And then it's time to scramble. Let's try.
Yeah, right. But we
grasp at
also
straws and see if they can.
we are gonna
do
move
better.
on, of course, with stuff to talk about today. And I know, Kilted, you already react to this. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to join the show yesterday. I was a little bit
Right.
busy.
You
Um,
were.
yes, I was. I was working
I
on
was busy
stuff.
yesterday too. I was busy yesterday too. I was on the other show.
Yeah,
See how that works.
but so this was a project that came a little bit all out of the blue for me, and that is Predator animated movie Killer of Killers reveals first look trailer. And before we get into the trailer, how do you guys feel about that? We're getting an animated movie about Predator.
Well, I mean, it's a logical path to go on. You can do a lot with animated. It all depends on how they do it. It's what's it going to be about? That's the big thing.
It's 3 different
Now,
stories.
yeah, we talked about this on Mike's show on Tuesday, actually, and everybody else was a little lukewarm on it. I pumped because it's telling stories throughout the history of time, different historical parts of history, because they've been visiting the Earth since humans, like
Yeah.
so, and it really tells different eras, and I love this concept. I really, really do. And these giant predators, like, what the hell? These are beasts.
Because again, I've read some comics back in the day, and I really love this universe. And no, it looks interesting. And when it comes to the species with the predators and all that, you have different clans, you have different versions of them, different clans and stuff like that. You have the ones that are smaller, you have the ones who are bigger and more buff and more stronger and will kill you easier. So you have a lot of different versions of them, and who's superior, who is down the trash, because it's like it's all of that. It's a lot of that in the comic books. So Hulu reveals first look at the one of 2 new Predator movies getting released this year. This time with an animated film, Killer of Killers. Dan Trachtenberg is the director. Predator Killers of Killers is a 3-part anthology story following 3 of the fear set warriors in human history. So here's the cover, doesn't look too horrible, it's like simple, not over the top. And I still know that, it is the guy who created the Prey movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the Prey movie. Again, they kind of just stole that from a fucking YouTube fan film. Every fucking concept, even the fucking cover they did, was all from a fucking fan film. So yeah. I've already seen the fan film before. And I don't really like the look of the Predator in Prey. The CGI was over the top on it. Didn't look like a predator. Didn't look like the species. It looked like a completely different species and completely different aliens than anything else. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the story with that woman either. Suddenly, it was. I did not like it as much. I did not like
that's
it.
what happens when those aliens take steroids. That's the reason why. So it's a warning.
Right.
Well, that was a smaller one. And I didn't like it at first, but I rewatched it. And I'm like, okay, I understand it now. He was a beginning predator. He was a trainer.
No, but it is how he looks. They changed the look of predators in the movie, and I did not like the new look because it didn't look like the species at all. It looks like a hybrid of something else than what their species really is. I did not really like it that much, but I haven't rewatched it or anything like that. I've seen it once, maybe twice. I don't know. It's so long, but I have no plans. Maybe I will rewatch it at some point, but I did not like it at all. But at least this one looks like a much more proper Predator storylines that I might enjoy a lot more. So what is Predator Killer of Killers about? An anthology follows a Viking raider guiding her young son on a bloody quest for revenge, a ninja in feudal Japan who turns against his samurai brother in a brutal brutal battle. And a fun thing here, at least they have a male Asian character. I'm looking
What?
at it. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
What?
Yeah, right? It's crazy.
What?
It's crazy.
I'm shocked.
And a World
Shocked, I
War
tell
II
you.
pilot who takes the sky to investigate an otherworldly threat that Allied caused. While all these warriors are killers in their own right, they are merely prey for their new opponent, the ultimate killer of killers.
Mhm.
Blue playthings. See, there, on roids. He's on roids. Look at that.
Yeah, of course.
He hung out with Arnold too long.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Josh Wasung from the animation studio, the third floor, served as a co-director on the project. The script was written by Michel Rubert Rutart. Or how you pronounce his name, based on the story he developed with Dan, using characters created by Jim and John Thomas. The film was produced by John Davis, Dan, Mark, and Ben, with Lawrence and James and John C. and not John Cena, Ben Schilling. And some other people, of course, are on board.
Damn, I'm not gonna be able to see this film anyway.
Oh yeah.
John, I stuck it into Amy Schumer Cena. Yeah.
Oh God. Releasing for the Predator, Killer of Killers, arrives on Hulu on June 6th, 2025. The upcoming new movie, Predator Badlands, get released in theaters on November 7th, 2025, starring Elle Fanning, who aids a young Predator who is more a hero this time around. Yeah, I've heard about the movie, heard stuff about it. I'm not completely excited about that one, but I think, the animated one is going to be a lot better. So we are going to go through the trailer, of course. We are going to go through it, and let's put full screen on it. So again, as I always say, please don't sue us. This is only for pure entertainment and discussion and, fun talk about it. And if you are gonna sue somebody, you have to sue Hashi. He's the one who is rich and has all the money. He's like, Musk and Johnny Depp rich. Like, he's just fucking rich. Just sue him. Everybody would be happy. So let's get into it. You guys have sound, right?
Yep.
So I am interested to see how they're gonna do this Viking story, because what are they gonna do with the female character? Are they gonna represent the Viking story a little bit better than a lot of other stuff do, or are they gonna whatever the fuck they're gonna do?
On a side note, before you notice that was a female, does anybody think that person looked like Brian Fury at one point? I was like, wow, Brian Fury is in a film? Like, if anybody knows any of the games I'm referring to. Yeah. I always love that. One of my favorite characters ever play at.
Yeah,
it does look like Brian Fury at one point there. What the hell?
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah, threw me at first,
No, because of course, when it comes to the Viking aspect of this is, I think, when I watch it, that's the one thing that I'm gonna be most critical about, because in the recent times now, they have been misusing and misunderstanding the Viking culture, and just made it fucking horrible.
The hell you say?
Not big a fan of that. And again, the woman should not be just a Viking who fights. Again, she should, if that woman has like a young kid who's a Viking, who's a boy, she should be mostly a shield, shield garden and all that kind of stuff. Shield maiden is a proper word. She should be a shield maiden and stuff like that, who also can fight, of course, but it really depends on how they write that. So this is the part that I think I will be most critical to, is the Viking storyline in this movie. They have hunted, yeah. There we have, of course, World War II. There we have Japan. Actually, a male Japanese guy. Wow. That I'm surprised.
I like that.
I like this has to be bad, people. That can't be good. Oh. Well, he sliced, you know, sliced and well, yeah.
You are old enough now. It's time I tell you about the monster.
Really don't like to that woman who's like a Viking. I do not like that fucking voice. I have to be honest. I fucking despise that voice. That's terrible voice acting, terrible fucking accents, fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're doing the stereotypical thing.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Still, I'm gonna watch this. It still looks interesting. There we have, one of the creatures on steroids. Been too much with Arnold in the gym, training up for this movie. And this is also an interesting look because, again, all the creatures do have different looks in the comics and stories too. And I kind of like this style because we're not seeing this so much of this, so it's kind of pretty interesting, and I do enjoy it.
We must kill it.
I still hate that fucking voice. Still fucking annoys me.
Or it will kill us all.
Again, she is gonna fight, but I hope that she used to be a fucking shield maiden or something instead. I'm probably gonna be a lot of critical on that part of the movie, but
No,
and that's also really cool look, and that that looks fun. That looks really fun, right, guys?
Looks amazing, is what it does. That was a cool way to take
a
some
flesh wound.
It's like the animation do kind of remind me a little bit of Arcane and all this other stuff that has a similar style that they're going for. So I can see the style that they're going for. It has become really popular now, so of course they're gonna do a lot more stuff like this. So yeah, I am gonna give it a chance. I am gonna watch it. It does look interesting, and I do like that it is R-rated and has these crazy scenes. I do enjoy that. But I'm still gonna be a little bit, critical here and there, of course, especially when, again, people know my faith, people know what stories that I have more experience with, and for me, that's gonna be the part when I gonna look more into and probably be more critical about. One thing I also don't like is the woman's voice. I hate that voice. I hate that voice acting. They could have done something better to sound like a little bit more like the times of the Vikings, to get like a little bit of more for the accents they can use for it and stuff like that to sound a little bit better. But overall, it does look interesting to me, and it looks like it's worth my time to check out when it comes out. So we're gonna go around the table and talk about it. So Baron, what about you? How do you feel about the trailer, the action, and what they're doing with the storylines?
It looks intriguing. I mean, 3 different eras like that. So, it's it is intriguing. I noticed but the animation though seemed a little jumpy, a little bit even more jumpy than
Yeah,
like the
it did a little
arcade.
bit jumpy.
Like they're doing slow motion. So I'm just trying to figure out what they're doing there. But it'll be interesting to see how they execute all this and if it's kind of bound. In some ways, it was kind of remind me a little like heavy metal. Because that was an
Yeah, yeah,
anthology
yeah.
movie. So. So that could be intriguing right there. It's like, oh, this could be another heavy metal movie or part of one. So,
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's
And
see.
let's hope for a better heavy metal movie than 2000 FAKK.
Didn't hate it, but yeah.
Yeah, I
We get
didn't
what you
like it
mean.
either. I mean, Michael Ironsides was in it. There's the plus,
Yeah.
Character was hot. She was a hottie in it.
Oh yeah.
And let's
Well,
get
she
to
better be.
Kilted. Let's get to Kilted. Same question to you, man.
I want to see it. It like the anthology setup. You have the opportunity to do 3 different stories, and they like going into this. I'm not expecting stellar writing. I'm expecting a hunt. That's
Yeah.
it. The predator going after the prey. Just give it that. There doesn't have to be any underlying messages, and that this has the opportunity to just entertain.
Yeah,
and
just have
that's
humans in different periods of the time of the world and have the predators hunt them and have battles, and for survival.
gimme.
Like
hunt,
the first movie.
Die or survive,
I mean, that's all the first film was. It was a hunt.
Yep.
Nothing deep, nothing serious. It's just, well, I mean, other than people being hunted. Yeah, you don't need a conflict.
No, it's the same. I really enjoyed Predators when humans, not the greatest people on Earth, got captured and taken to the planet of them, and they got hunted.
I kind of liked that one too.
I liked that too because it was interesting.
Going batshit crazy and everything.
Because again,
I like that one too.
Yeah, and you have, Yakuza versus a Predator. Come on. Samurai sword fighting, you have a katana fighting, that's fun. But again, also, the Predators are not like a understood species or anything. They are not evil. They are not nice. They're not evil. They are not
evil, they're not
anything.
Good, they're just there.
They're just there. They're there to hunt. Like you're a prey. You are a game to them. It's about hunting. And again, in stories too, in comics and other stuff too, yes, they can be nice to you if you hunt together, like if you show respect and hunting, because that's their culture, if you are hunting the same stuff, you're doing this. So that's why I love the stories. That's why I love the stories about it. No, so to you, Tom, you're excited? Do you think you have any same question?
I'm with the Kilton on that. To me, it's going to be a film of just watching these creatures hunt these people. That's
Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for.
So that's what I'm hoping too. I just want to see them tear these people apart and just hunt them down and showing how great of the world's greatest hunters they are. So and just
Yep. No, I agree. At least it is worth my watch. Still, I'm looking forward to see how they do the Viking Age. Hopefully they don't try too much and it's just a hunt.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh, let me count the ways.
So, we are also gonna get in to another article. If you don't have any final thoughts about the Predator movie.
Before we move on, I got to cut out. My kid's coming over in about 5 minutes, so sorry.
Okay. No problem. Please just do a fast promotion of yourself and what's coming, dude.
Fast promotion? I don't know. I'm going to be streaming a video game that's got dead things in it that no matter how hard I try, I can never remember the name of the damn game whenever I'm put on the spot. Our Darkest Day. Something... Oh, shoot. And it's such a fun game. I love it. I'm gonna give it away.
As long as you don't kill your own characters with an accident, man.
Look, I didn't realize the edge of the roof was right there, okay? I was trying
You're
to run
just
away.
walking and then boom, you're dead, bro.
I wasn't walking. I ran because
Yeah,
I
you ran.
clacked some undead over the head with a guitar. It made too much noise. They started coming after me. I'm like, oh.
It was fun.
Oh, it's a fun game.
Don't tell me now.
Shoot. Hold on. Our Darkest. Into the Dead, Our Darkest Day. It's in early access. It's on Steam. It's $25. I highly recommend it. It is a blast, and it's looking like it has a lot of replayability with the way it's set.
It
up.
looks so fun. I'm
It's-
so gonna give it a try one day.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really want to try it out.
But other than that, I've just run my mouth about the nonsense going on in the entertainment industry, mostly video games right now. And hey, look at Nintendo. So, but yeah, thanks for having me. Y'all have a good one. See y'all later.
Same to you, brother.
Hey, take care, Skeleton. Have a good one.
And there we go. Then we were 3 for
I thought
now.
he'd never leave.
Oh God, right? But we are actually also gonna talk about the Fantastic Four movie because Vanessa Kirby came out and talked about the movie. And I don't know how to feel about this, and let's get into it. Vanessa Kirby confirms Fantastic Four first steps explore gender politics with Sue Storm.
What?
Are we surprised?
Are we surprised about this?
No.
Baron, you surprised?
No, I would have been surprised if they didn't do something like that.
And Tom, I see that you're smiling.
Don't even want to say anything until I read this or hear this.
So, let's get into it. So, actress Vanessa Kirby confirms that Marvel Studios' upcoming Fantastic Four First Steps explores gender politics with her Sue Storm character. Kirby spoke with Entertainment Weekly saying, if you haven't played an exact 60s Sue today, everyone would think that she was a bit of a doormat. Okay. So figuring out how to capture the essence of her represented to each generation. Where the gender politics were different. Again, we don't need any gender politics in this movie, to be honest. We just need a great story.
We need the players and bad guys.
That's all we need. We don't need to explore the gender politics in the universe that they are in. That's not why we want to watch it. Just treat all the characters equally well, you know, with respect and good lore and something we can enjoy and have a bad guy, you know?
Yeah, he's the Iron Man.
Exactly. Yeah, where the gender politics were different and that are and embodied that today was one of the greatest joys of this. So according to her, that was one of the greatest joys by filming this movie was to do the gender politics.
Good for
And
her.
we have already heard, you know, when they talked about this earlier, we already had rumors about they're going to focus a lot on Sue Storm. I don't want this movie to focus just on Sue Storm. I want them to focus on every character and their journey and everything. Even though I'm not a big fan of Pedro Pascal, but if you can write a good script, maybe I can change my mind on it. If you can write a good script for him and shaving that stupid stash. But
not only that, let's go back. If anybody's seen the trailer, I haven't seen Plastic Man yet. I haven't seen him stretch at all in any of the trailers yet. Like, does he have his powers even? Like, I'm like,
Plastic.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I mean, Plastic Man. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he did.
Plastic Man's DC. He's no trouble.
Yeah,
No, but he
Fantastic
still has
Four.
that stretching power. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Oh,
Fantastic
you're
Four.
talking about-
You know, Mr.
Oh,
Fantastic.
you're talking about Reed Richards. You're talking about Reed Richards.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr.
Reed Richards
Fantastic.
has the power as well, but
Yeah.
I never
Mhm.
see it in the trailer. It's like, does he have no powers? But everybody else has their powers, but him? Like, I don't get it. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
when was she a doormat? That's a load of BS. Sue Storm was never a doormat. What the hell is that about? When
All
was
the
she a door? She's a badass character. Like, what? Like, why
All
is
the
she
time
saying
she
that?
was
She was a
that.
doormat. No.
I know
my
I'm being
God,
sarcastic.
Yes,
people
no,
are
I
idiots.
agree with that.
Like,
So, of course, we are getting into this with the comics too, of course. The idea of Sue Storm was a doormat in early Fantastic Four comic books is ridiculous. In the second issue of Fantastic Four, she turns invisible and breaks herself free from the federal determined facility. And she's not a doormat, you know? Later in the issue, she works with a team to take out the Skrulls who have been posing as them and framing them for various crimes. Where is she a doormat? Where? I've read a couple of Fantastic Four comics back in the day too. Yes, I'm not a biggest Fantastic Four comic book reader, but I have read enough to know the characters from back in the day because that's, again, Fantastic Four was the first story with Stanley and all of them, what they created. That's the first of the family. On the top, Kirby's Comments, Entertainment Weekly's Christian Hollop shared that Kirby's Storm is the head of the Future Foundation, and she has helped to achieve global demonstration and peace. So she's, okay. Shakeman elaborated, if Reed is the most scientific, I can't even talk, scientific, yeah, most intelligent person. We say that. I can't pronounce the other word because I'm
scientifically intelligent person.
Scientifically,
Yeah.
thank you. God damn, sometimes I always have to make fun of myself.
Leave it to the Canadian.
Yeah, leave it to the Canadians. Sometimes because I have dyslexia sometimes, so sometimes it's hard to read sometimes.
No, you're Norwegian.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm only
scientifically intelligent person.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't blame it on dyslexia. Yes, you're Norwegian.
Oh, fuck you, yeah. But then she is the most emotional, intelligent person on the planet. Between the two of them, they are building an idealic society, like a realistic society. Okay. Again, Reed Richards is supposed to be the smartest of all of them. He's gonna be the guy with the brain and do a lot of this crazy stuff. Furthermore, Kirby shared that she ensured her depiction of Sue Storm was not the stereotype of a goody sweet mother. Goody sweet mother.
What's that supposed to mean? The hell?
I have no clue. She explained, one of the things I love most from Sue's history is when she becomes Malice and all her dark stuff comes out. I was obsessed with that chapter of her life, so I wanted to make sure that there were tones of Malice in there with her, that she wasn't that stereotype of goody sweet mother.
That makes sense.
I have always been really interested in the mess of femininity. And how can you be both? How can you be all the things, not just tough and invincible and powerful woman, but also a mother who gives birth, which is itself a superhero act. Being a parent overall is also a superpower, in a way. If you think about it in that way, if you're a good parent. She also continued, I love that these characters are real humans in a messy family who argue and try to work it out and get things wrong. Yeah, that's how it works with a lot of superhero stories, but okay. The official quote-unquote story for the film sets against the vibrant backdrop of 1960s inspired retro-futuristic world Marvel Studio. The Fantastic Four first steps introduced the Marvel's first family, Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, who... Pedro, can you please shave that stash?
No.
Just take that stash. So we already know, we've heard about this before, what what this movie is kind of gonna be about. Still sad that they're using the wrong Silver Surfer. But again, now we hear her talk about it, and again, it sounds like she's gonna be, one of the main focuses on the movie, and she said it herself. They're gonna explore gender politics. That's apparently one of the
Yay!
greatest joy of this film.
I was hoping they
And
would. Now I'm going to see it.
I'm going to say this right now. Let me give my 2 cents quickly here. Snow White, what's her name? Came out, blah, ruined the film.
yeah,
People come out talking about ruin the film. This just me made me not want to go this at all. I don't want to give money now. I don't, because you're more politics, more. No, you got to shut these people up and let them just give the film out. If you're going to do tours like this and say, I'm this, nobody wants to see it now because you're throwing ideology politics in it. Shove it up their ass with this crap. I want to see a good comic book film with a story. I don't want politics in it. I don't want to see it now. I'm not getting my money anymore. No, I'll go see Thunderbolts. No. I want to see that. Yeah. It's just a good story. This, no, I'm officially not interested now.
The sad thing, though, Tom, on this one, I think this is something that is coming from Disney itself to say, yeah, go out and say this. You know, talk about the progressive
that's the thing
here.
Is,
because he's not really attacking anybody, but, you know.
It's just, we're tired of the gender stuff. We're tired of this stuff. Yep. How about just have a comic book film? Sue Storm is a badass. She's always been a badass. With it, she's a mother. What the hell? Oh my god, she's not.
And again, we can go back to the older MCU where we had female characters, and they didn't focus on this gender politics of, you know, all this kind of stuff. You know,
dude, so I'll go back to one of my favorites that was never fully utilized. Shield, Quake. She was an amazing female character. No idea. And that was the TV show. I love her character.
Quake was really good, and I love that character and everything. No gender politics or anything.
No,
it was a great story that was told. Agent Carter Carter is a good one.
Oh, I love Agent Carter. She's
exactly.
Oh my god, she did great. And then
exactly, you know, and no gender politics. So you can do all these stories with no gender politics. You can make strong, independent women with good writing. We don't need to explore the whole gender identities and whatever shit. Just we need to explore a good story that makes sense.
And the way they say that, what did they say? Sue was a blah, 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 what did they say she was again? Like something about a goody Sue. No, Sue Storm was never that. She's not a doormat. Whoever the hell said she was a doormat, what a load of BS.
That is a lot of BS. She was never a doormat. She was always badass. Has there been bad stories about her in comics? Of course. Every character in Marvel and DC had bad stories about their characters where they're treated like shit. That happens because of the fucking writers.
She's the level head of the family. She was the level head, the one to keep that family together at all times.
Yeah.
No doormat at all. What the
she was, you know, she was a good mom, you know. She was the mother of the family, you can say, you know. She keeping them level-headed. You know, we have Human Torch, who's the funny guy. You know, who's the funny guy and all that kind of stuff. It makes, you know, comic relief. And then, of course, we have the Thing, who's more serious, more edgy to at times, but also a little funny, but also more of a serious guy to a certain point. And then we have, of course, Mr. Fantastic, who's the smart one in the family, who makes all these gadgets and all this and all everything. And then we have Sue Storm, who's also a badass and the head of the family. You could say the people keep the people calm, the mother, the mother of them, you know, the mother role. And that's not a doormat character. That is a character to keep the family on place, you know.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the way she was written in the beginning, that is an independent, strong female character.
She goes in. She's not like the doormat in the set. She never was. So she's never read the comics. She just, but they're not supposed to read the comics in Marvel. So I'm like, oh gosh, you don't even know the character. You know, like just
what is comic books? What is comic books?
That ruined my interest in this film. Nope, no thanks. I'll watch it when it comes out for free, but I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah,
nope.
You know, I agree. What they told her, and so she's just telling it what she was told. This is what this character's about. Yeah, you know. Enjoy.
Either way, just shut up, you know. A lot of actors just just shut up, you know. Stop talking about all these things in the movies. If you're gonna do interest, can we just get back to old days talking about, oh, this funny was, you know, fun. We developed more into this story with, you know, we say the dark parts of the character, and just talk about the story, talk about that and shit. Talk about no gender
No, it's
politics.
female. It's politics. Well, the character was always a badass character. There's always
Shut
amazing
the
female
F
characters.
up. You're
And
tired of
again,
it.
this movie
no.
has, for them, this movie has to succeed to get to the other movies. It has to succeed. If not, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna
Yeah.
hurt the new Avenger
But
movies
Captain
and
Falcon
everything.
already failed, I think. Anyway, Captain Falcon was the
Yeah.
first of the year that already.
Yeah,
killed him.
that failed.
Yeah.
That failed so hard, and it did not help that he came out and said what he said either. He
No.
just
It's
again
not
he
about
destroyed.
America.
He destroyed the
Jeez.
movie a lot more than it was already dead by arrival, but he made the movie die even faster and make like people like, no, I'm not gonna give it a chance for people. So a lot of people who want to give the movie a chance, but because of what he said, people like, no, you know what, that is so disrespectful to one of the most popular characters who actually stands for America. That is his suit. That is his name. He is the, he is all American, the freedom,
Who?
the everything. He's the American dream,
America.
Who's in charge of their I'm losing work here, their PR stuff? Because the last few years, whoever's in charge of PR needs to be fired. The Anthony Mackie, and I like him as an actor. Falcon, he's amazing. I love the Falcon character.
He used to
Plays
be,
a
at
good
least.
D.
He used to be a good
Amazing.
character.
Yeah. But then he goes on this tour, mentions that about it's not about America. Actually, it's quintessentially about America, you moron. Like that's
He's all
Captain
American.
America.
That's the point.
It's in his freaking name. He's an American soldier who's proud to be American. That's why he goes to the army, risks his life. He
beats
was
the
a tiny little-
Nazis. You know?
Yes, hello, it's America. That's what his character and then, it's not about America. Yes, exactly what it's about. Hence the shield, the American flag, the stars and stripes. Hello, whatever, moron.
No, I thought that was a African flag.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah,
on.
Liberia,
And now you get.
Liberia.
Then you get this here, and it's about she was a doormat. Up yours. So I'm serious. Like, no. Sue Storm was never a doormat. She was a badass then. She was kind of the center core of the family, and now she was a doormat. Shut up. You don't even read the comics. No. And that just made me interested not in to watch this now too. That quoting like that. So whoever's in charge of the PR, these people touring, saying this garbage, you need to hire new people, because they need to shut their mouths. Because this
then
is
you also
pathetic.
get better people in charge too that controls the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, we all know
too?
that. I mean, I'd say Ryan Reynolds should be producing a lot of this stuff, or at least hiring more people, because he seems to know what's going on. And the guy who helped create the Deadpool, they create a better universe. Sorry, and I know you're not a big fan of the film, but at least they don't have an idealistic
No, exactly.
direction.
It's like I said, yes, I'm not a biggest Deadpool fan, but I can see why so many people love that movie and what they
He's
saw.
a comic book fan.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. He is a comic book fan, and if he was more into the produced role in these universes, I think a lot of the movies could have been a lot better. There would be less of the fucking political stuff, the gender. Maybe they would be fun of it because they've done it so much. Maybe they would make fun of it because it's been so much of it, like the other movies. But at least he has a vision. It's like I say, yes, I'm not a big fan of Deadpool. That's the main reason why I did not enjoy the movie as much, because it's not my type of mostly of characters. But I had my enjoyment with certain stuff in the movie.
Another example. Sorry, Free Guy. Have you ever seen that? I mean, Ryan is a
Yeah,
nerd
that's a good
like
movie.
the rest of us. Ryan's just a straight out nerd like the rest of us,
He
and
is
that's
just
why
a
I'd
geek.
want him. Yeah, I'd want him in charge of Marvel, or at least a guy that's helping to direct. Okay, let's hire this guy, because they seem to like comics. He's the guy that you'd want at least as a co-producer, director, or just heading an office and co-assistant that say, we need to hire these people, and then we need these people doing PR, and we need these people, because these people have a love for
Exactly.
comics. They want to tell the proper stories, not these idiots that have,
Exactly.
because we need DEI. No, up yours with the DEI stuff, and this is just frustrating.
So, any final thoughts, or do you think we said enough? I think
I
Tom,
can't
you
wait for
said
Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts looks fun because there's nothing attached. It's just a fun film. I'm looking forward to that. Anything else? Nah, not really. Just
yeah.
and
I'm
after
looking
this,
forward.
now I even want to see less. So
Yeah, no, for me, I am looking forward to Thunderbolts, even though I still have my issues with the gender swaps of characters in it. But the trailer did its work. That's the most important thing. The people that is in the movie has not talked about any gender roles or any political stuff in it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going in to watch a Thunderbolts with no expectations at all. I'm just gonna watch it and hope for at least a decent movie that I can enjoy at least.
And escapism, something to escape. No ideologies, just a fun film with some cool action and cool storytelling. That's all I want, and that's what I think that's going to deliver. So, but now we have to have an ideology of the woman is going to be strong. We already know Sue Storm's a badass. Why are you saying she was?
We know a lot of these characters are already strong and cool characters. But we are gonna get into some DC now, and this is really fun. Because again, I really want the Batman 2 movie to come out at some point. I really want it to. I know Robert Pattinson is a good actor. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see much of his Bruce Wayne in the movie. We didn't.
Hated his Bruce Wayne.
But again, this is his second year as Batman, so I do know what story they're going for. It is the second year of being Batman. It's hard to separate his personality a little with that. I can understand that. I have my issues with the movies here and there, but I still, after rewatching it, I have a lot more enjoyment with this movie after rewatching it. Even with the small issues that I have, but I still enjoy it. And I know that if we can get the second movie, Robert Pattinson, if he gets the right script, and I think they learned from the Penguin show, Matt Reeves, I think he also learned a lot while doing that show. And when he saw the success and he saw how they did write the story. So I think that also helped him to understand a little bit about that. I'm allowed to hope that he did. And I know if we get to see Batman 2 and we get to see Bruce Wayne, I know he can play a fantastic fucking Bruce Wayne. I've seen movies with him, and one of the movies that I did watch, he's basically playing Bruce Wayne, and he would be so good at Bruce Wayne if he only got that script basically that he had in that movie. He's in a car 90% of the movie, and he's a rich guy, of course a kid in it in a way, but he can play a good Bruce Wayne role.
Great fan of this acting. I think he's a brilliant actor. He's done amazing films. He actually is a great actor, 100%. And but I found his Bruce Wayne was too emo. To me, the greatest Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck, 100%. He played the perfect quintessential Bruce Wayne.
I love Ben Affleck too. But
Bruce Wayne was just keyed on, dead on.
But as I said before, this is this year 2 Batman. And of course, we do have stories where, of course, Batman has issues. Sometimes it is hard to separate the personalities that when you're getting into those shoes to be that character. But that's why I say if we get a lot better script of Batman 2, I think he will surprise a lot of people of how good Robert can be as Bruce Wayne. And I don't think he's going to be as emo as the first one. Hopefully, but again,
my sparkles. I want my bat sparkles.
And of course, this debate can go on forever with everybody out there. We all have our versions of Batman, how we like to view him. We do have darker comics with Batman when he is a lot darker and a lot more R-rated character, and all that kind of stuff. And again, that is the stories that I, again, like a lot more, is the darker stories. And that's why I also like the Batman, because, again, it is a darker story and more into the vibe I like of Batman. And that's also
Christian
why
Bale
I like...
and Heath Ledger. It's still one of my all-time favorite films of all for any superhero film. I loved it.
I'm happy for you that you like that. And for me, with Ben Affleck, I got everything that I wanted of the darkness and a Bruce Wayne that I enjoyed. But I really want this movie to come out at some point. But because of James Gunn, we know it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Nope. If ever.
If ever, because James Gunn is just a stupid idiot who ruins everything, mostly now. So the Batman 2 gets disappointing release date. Following 2022's The Batman and 2024's The Penguin, The Penguin is such a fucking fantastic show, and I want that universe to continue after watching The Penguin. The director, Matt Reeves, is now working on the Batman 2, and we know he's been working on Batman 2 for a long time, and he was basically finished with the script. And then you have stupid James Gunn coming out and saying, what script?
Mm-hmm.
There were no script, according to him. But
Yeah.
Matt Reeves said it was a script, so, who is lying here? That's James Gunn, like always.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to say hail to Leia Rose. Unfortunately, Cash Money's not here still, but hail to you, Leia Rose. Hope you are doing well. It's good to see you watching the show.
Hi, Leia Rose. Always good to see you.
But also known as the Batman 2, is scheduled to release in 2027. The movie has faced some delays. As it was originally supposed to come out in 2026. James Gunn, can you stop fucking around so we can just get this movie? I'd rather see the Batman 2 than your Batman movie, James Gunn. I don't care about your stupid Batman movie that you're gonna make with one of the stupidest creators if he's still on board on it.
Wow.
Because that guy is the one who did the Flash movie with Ezra Miller. Because again, according to James Gunn, that's the best superhero movie ever created. Wow. And
he hated Batman 89.
Yeah, we can't trust a guy who hates that movie, right?
Exactly.
Without that movie, a lot of superhero movies would not be the way it is.
Yeah.
While
one of the greatest comic book movies ever. I'm sorry.
It is one of them top ones. It's one on the top lists and has inspired so many movies of superhero genre. But while Robert Pattinson previously said he believes the Batman 2 will go into production at the end of 2025, a new report from Nexus, I think that's Nexus or whatever how you say it, Point News. Never heard about them before, I think. It doesn't sound too familiar for me. We might have mentioned these people before. I have no clue. There's so many news and podcasts that we have mentioned through the years on the channel. Now states that it won't begin filming until early 2026 at earliest. Well, that is a shame. I would love it to happen earlier, but we know James Gunn is a big part of this because we have heard what he says all the time and all the lies that he comes out with, and he doesn't know how to handle a fucking universe. And if something goes wrong, he's just gonna say it's an imperfect memory so he can rewrite whatever the fuck he wants. And James Gunn, your Superman movie has to succeed, or everything that you do will fail. You already failed with the Creature Commando show. You already took a jab at conservatives and made stupid jokes and made a terrible fucking show. And you cared more about sex in that show than anything else, in my opinion. You were so focused on sex, James Gunn. God damn it, dude. Just because it's R-rated, we don't need to see a lot of sex or sexual stuff all the time.
I don't want it in my comic book films. I don't want any of that crap in my comic book films. Keep it away from it.
Exactly. And you already failed with that. It's not a great start for you. I've seen the clip of the new Superman movie with, Crypto jumping on Superman and all that. And I'm like, dude, you're going for the same fucking comedy like everything else you do.
Oh yeah, I seen that and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go. And even one of my buddies, Mario, he's like, yeah, it looks stupid now. They've made their Superman film look like a comedy now. And
that scene could have been good if you made a serious scene. Yeah. Superman beaten up after a hardcore battle with who knows who he fought. We say that he fought like a super bad villain that is super strong like him, or some kryptonites have been used, whatever, right? And make the dog actually understand him and be more carrying and not jumping on him like a fucking idiot.
It looks stupid. Yeah, you just made me lost interest in that film. It looks dumb.
And it has succeeded, but I doubt it will succeed. So again, James Gunn, you are delaying and making movies and stuff delayed. That stuff actually are more excited about. It's like many people have their views on, of course, the Batman and how his Bruce Wayne was. But we know, of course, we have a mixed view on it. A lot of people, but majority enjoyed the movie for what it was, even with the small problems. Um, and a lot of people rather watch this than to watch your goddamn Superman movie. And we had the Penguin that did so fucking great, a big success. We want you to continue more on what succeeded. That's what can save your goddamn universe of DC, is to create more of this, especially like Penguin. Focus on these kind of stuff with proper writing, proper stories, and then you're gonna save fans. You're gonna get a lot more fans. You might get a lot of us back to be like, hey, this is what we want. This is good. Then we might praise it. So they also of course continued. It seems that to be because Pattinson has been cast to Dennis. Yeah, he's been cast to Dune 3. That's an interesting choice that Pattinson has been cast in Dune 3. But I don't think that's the reason of the delay, because again we already know why the delay is, because it already happened earlier with James Gunn talking too much and doing whatever plans he has. So I'm gonna say it like this, I'm happy for Patterson to be casted in Dune 3 at least, At least, he will join a big franchise that's really big. Two movies that have done really well, and is really popular. And I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Dune 3. Even though I have my problems with Zendaya, I always have a problem with her 90% of the time in movies because she plays the same character, an edgy emo teenager. And I know if she can get the right script, she's a lot better. A lot of actors are better as long as they just get a good script and also can play different things,
No.
But so I'm happy that he got cast in Dune 3, and which is expected to begin filming this summer. It's not totally clear how large of a part Pattinson will have in the movie. However, it could be really well keep him busy for a while. It's good for him to at least have more stuff to do instead of, I feel bad for him because I know that he loves playing Batman. I know he really enjoyed playing this, and it was good for him to play something he actually enjoys, and then you have a guy who in charge of DC who's just gonna be like, yeah, I don't fucking care about your stuff. I care about my own movies, and all the other stuff we don't care about. But we had to release, of course, Joker 2.
Greatest film ever.
Greatest film and musical ever.
Still never watched it. Not planning ever to. Ever.
No. But while as Nexus Point News says, production on Dune 3 will last throughout the end of the year. On top of that, Pattinson has a number of other projects that are various stages of development. He's gonna be in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. So we will see how The Odyssey will be. It is Christopher Nolan, so I am gonna give it a chance to see what he's doing, even though I have my beef with some Christopher Nolan stuff because, bro, everything that you 90% do has shitty audio mixing. I'm sorry, bro, but it's true. I don't like a lot of the audio mixing in it. But absolutely gonna take a look at it. I did watch Mikey 17. Pattinson did a great fucking job, but the movie was stupid, and I will never rewatch it again. And that is sad because I love the South Korean, the creator of the movie. Fantastic guy, but dude, you disappointed me on that one. You could have done a lot better. And he'll soon be seen in other films such as Lenny Ramsey's Die, My Love, Lance Oppenheim's Primetime, and more. Additionally, he's attached to produce Parker Finn's Possession remake, though it is unclear if he will star in it. So it looks like he's going to do some producing too. That's going to be interesting to see Patterson actually doing some producing. It's going to be interesting. But should the Batman go into production in early 2026, that's still enough time to make its October 2027 release date. If it gets started later than that, however, it could run risks of being delayed again. It probably will. We're looking at you, James Stupid Gunn. So again, Warner Bros. Has not commented on the matter at this time. The Batman 2 will be released in the United States, quote unquote, October 1st, 2027, from Warner Bros. Pictures. Dune 3, meanwhile, does not have a release date, meaning it's unclear if that movie will come out before the Batman 2 does. And I do think Dune Part 3 will come before Batman comes out.
Yeah, Batman Part 2 is not going to come out. Unless something happens with James Gunn and he doesn't deliver, especially with his magnum opus Superman. If that doesn't do well, he could find himself into trouble. In a little bit of trouble over there, especially when what he's been promising hasn't been coming true. But this is an ego thing. This is how dare there be another DC superhero universe when I'm the one who's in charge. I don't want this here.
Because there is a big ego on James Gunn, and it is unfortunate because he can make great stuff when he wants to. Like, he has some stuff that has done well, but he has people on the side that is like, we have to do, he has people with him. The problem is when you get him alone, he has control over something. His ego just went up to the roof, and he thinks he's the god of comic book movies. Right. And it's just like, dude, you don't like the older Batman stuff, bro. Dude.
Well, yeah,
and you think you're the god of comic book movies.
Yeah. So, with that, to tell you the truth, it was a mistake to try to do two different universes at the same time, in my opinion, because it can be confusing to the audience that's going to see these films.
That too, you're gonna have two Batman movies, you have two Batman universes, Robert Pattinson, and then you're gonna have James Gunn's Batman with Damian Wayne. Oh, we are not gonna use Dick Grayson or any of the other original Robins. We're just gonna jump straight to Damian Wayne. It's like not many. No matter. Yes, I do like Damian Wayne in some comics. I think he's an interesting character, but his character is so much like Jason Todd. It's like, yes, there has been stories where I like Damian Wayne, but he is just a version of Jason Todd. He is just a young version of Jason Todd 90% of the time. And
so,
if James Gunn actually took the criticism to him, we would be. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's just, I would love to see Dick Grayson. I would love to see a proper good fucking Nightwing and Robin. But again, the thing with James Gunn, he just picks and chooses what he likes, and he doesn't care what other people say. He doesn't care about the majority of the fans. He just cares about his own liking on stuff. And when it comes to that, I'm sad that Batman is delayed. But also, James Gunn is stupid. I don't think his Superman movie will succeed. I think it is gonna flop. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of casual and chills who doesn't care much. They're just gonna watch it and be like, "Oh, it's great, it's fun, right?" But I don't think it's gonna really succeed in that way. And it is the same bullshit, the same humor, and James Gunn, you have to get your ass out of there, man. You can't continue doing the Guardians of the Galaxy humor in everything you do. You can't do it, man. You can't.
Well, it's his signature. It's it's what you expect from him. So he thinks. So yeah. The only way this is going to happen is if James Gunn fails, and he's on purposely sabotaging it with what he's been saying. We know the script is made because the people involved said so. And James Gunn's going around and trying to torpedo this every time he can turn around, and now here is the latest. So,
Yep.
and coming up with BS excuses and the like. So, as that goes, yeah, it's unless some things change, it ain't going to happen. Don't expect
Yep.
it. I don't mean to be mean. I really don't. But that's just going to be the case. Just knowing who we're dealing with here.
I am at the point that I would love to have Batman 2, and I hope it's gonna happen. But I am at the point that I just have to say, I believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
That's when I believe. Then it's happening. But it's looking really dark for that universe, and especially when you already had something that succeeded so well. I think the Penguin is something that have been succeeded. One of the biggest things they have succeeded with for a long time now was the Penguin. And Tom, what's your opinion of what's going on and what we talk about?
Honestly, I'm to the point I don't care anymore. There's too many Batmans. There's too many. I'm just burnt out on Batman. I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, it's been overdone so many times. We had Christian Bale, which I loved. Some people like, I didn't know. I liked it. Yeah, the voice and stuff. I still liked his Batman. I mean, the one with him and Heath Ledger is still one of my all-time favorites. If I love the Dark Knight story. But then again, Ben Affleck. I think he did the perfect Frank Miller Batman. And his Bruce Wayne was brilliant. And I want Zack Snyder to come back and do his universe. We need that universe. That was never finished.
You even know Frank Miller's name, so I'm proud of you, bro.
Like, I'm serious. Like, that universe, I get the comics right here, the Frank Miller ones. I love them. You need to return to that form. Snyder needs to finish his universe. We never got finished. It just stopped. Like, no, I want that Justice League. That Justice League was amazing. Darkseid coming in, not the Josh Whedon one.
Finished, and then you can move on.
2 more films. That's all we needed. And yeah, now not as 4 hours long. We could have been at least 2.5, whatever. But 2 more films to tell the rest of the story. We had Manhunter, Martian Manhunter introduced at the end of that film. I was like, oh wow, and you could have finished the story. We didn't, and it left me empty inside. Now I just don't care anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, no.
I'm done.
And James Gunn is way up his ass, and I don't care about watching a Superman movie. I don't care about his
stupid.
It does, because it's going for the same comedy again.
When I seen that scene, it was last week, and they introduced the dog jumping. I'm like, what the is that? That looks like
exactly.
No, I totally lost all interest in it completely. I was like, nope, no thanks. You just killed my interest, and I was intrigued at first. Once I seen that, I'm like, nope, that looks like garbage.
Well, I think you're getting a lot of people with Tom's opinion. So this is going to be a long road to hoe for him. So.
Yep. And hail to Cash.
Yo.
Who?
Hey man, what up?
Just
How you doing, bro?
Some food.
Of course, he's eating this vegan thing.
I'm eating my vegan. I learned from other vegans. No, I don't have tofu.
Yeah, he went to he went to the vegan class.
Yeah. No, but
I thought I had them here. I guess I don't. I just got V for Vendetta and The Watchmen. I had the other ones put away. Yeah, I got these ones. They're great comics. Yeah. Well,
mine are behind me.
Yeah, they're great ones.
My Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns behind me. So.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
Great ones. But it's looking real dim and dark for the Batman 2 for now. James Gunn is just going to focus on whatever he does and come with all his excuses. And he is just going to keep failing. He is just going to keep failing, in my opinion, with the stuff that he does.
Let me give my 2 cents on that. I don't like Patterson's Bruce Wayne. I didn't care for it. Batman, I liked his Batman. I think he did a really good Batman. I really did. You can tell he enjoyed doing it, and his Batman wasn't bad. It was still a young Batman, but I liked the way he played Batman. I will give him credit for that. So I didn't hate the film. I would watch it again. It was actually enjoyable. You know, the Batmobile was kind of more of a badass car. I was like, okay, I like the way it
All
was written,
practical effects too. All practical effects
exactly.
and stuff like
So-
that. And then you have James Gunn who comes out lying, say, "Oh no, I didn't use any CGI or digital stuff. It's no. That's the face is perfect. I didn't use any
Yeah.
digital stuff." It's like, bro. For me and
One eye
Tom,
over there, one eye over
Bro.
there.
who are in the more movie universe, like we see through you, bro. We see
Yeah,
through you.
just
Well, you can't trust a word he says. That's
Yeah.
just the thing.
So what about you, Cash? Do you think the Batman 2 will ever come out, or do you think James Gunn is just gonna sabotage everything that is in the Batman universe, Penguin, everything else?
I don't know. I'd hope not. I mean, I'm not missing seeing Catwoman on screen again. I just didn't like that Catwoman for
yeah, I
certain
didn't either.
reasons.
I wasn't a big
didn't
fan
like
of hers.
her attitude. I thought it was stupid that they were saying that she's a lesbian. I'm just not a fan of these silly decisions. I think they're silly.
She's not a
Because
lesbian though.
No, she's not.
She was not in the movie
Well,
either.
Who in the Batman she was?
No,
Catwoman? They implied that she was a lesbian in the
no,
Batman.
not lesbian. No.
You
Maybe
sure? I
she
thought
had
she was
that-
a lover
Are you
of that.
sure she had that love?
Yeah, I thought she was lovers with
the
the other one. Yeah, they kind of
Yeah,
hinted at that. Even I
yeah,
thought they did.
bi. They made
Well,
her into
still,
a bi
but-
character, but
Oh,
not
was
yeah,
lesbian.
which
she?
is-
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
still,
don't
but
know.
either way,
she still
I
wants to fuck
I don't
Batman.
know.
She still wants to
I
fuck
guess,
Batman.
but I don't know, man. It seems like she was more lesbian than bi, but all right.
Even I got that vibe. I'm with you, Cash. I got that vibe from it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, she wanted to fuck Batman. And still, she's bi because of Batman.
I guess
The way they
man.
presented her was dumb, though. It was dumb.
Yes. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just
Yeah, it had its flaws. It does has its flaws, but again, like I said, I think
I know.
hopefully Matt Reeves learned from the Penguin and can continue on
yes, I
from
hope
that.
so.
But the problem is we will not see that for a while because of James Gunn.
Or
Oh,
ever.
well.
Well,
Maybe it's a good break to have no Batman for a while because we're gonna have
Yeah.
to suffer through a really bad Superman anyway. So
I have no idea. Hopefully not, but I just don't really have much of a desire to see that film.
yeah, no,
Right.
not now after this week. No.
Excuse me, but I don't know. It could surprise us. The Minecraft movie surprised people at least the first week. So
hmm
And
Yeah, well,
also,
no.
just to clarify, they made Catwoman bisexual in the comics. So
Yeah.
very exciting.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm
she
sure.
is bisexual in the comics. So that's why she is technically bisexual in the movie too.
Ah, boy.
Yeah, but I guess in the movies before they've never portrayed that,
Mhm.
and they kind of, you know,
Exactly.
it's just like,
It's like I don't care if you make a great character. That's all I care about. The Catwoman in it is not my favorite thing. I don't care about I don't care that she was they've done her. She's been a black person before in real old DC stuff. If you go far back on DC, Adam West shit, and far back. And they've done that before in other animation shit and comics.
Yeah,
and-
Eartha Kitt just did it once. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't the best
them-
portrayal of Catwoman I've ever seen. though.
No.
No, I think they could have done a lot better, even with that actress, with a little bit better writing on her. I think it could have been great.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a movie that I can rewatch. I do still enjoy it after rewatching it to a certain point, even with the small issues. But I would love to see it continue. I would love to see more of the Penguin character and what they would do. But
Everyone
What I
talks about
do-
the Penguin character. How about his number one nemesis in the second film? You got to bring in Joker because that's his number one. That's his Joker
yeah,
and
just,
Batman. Are,
just let know that's
Mm.
one of the biggest mistakes in the Batman was the Joker and what Joker they're using. What they did with the Joker was the worst Joker you will ever fucking see. It's an angsty teenager emo boy who probably like dick in the morning.
Wow, dude.
No,
you didn't have to
thank
go
you.
that far, but sure.
yeah,
And I don't like that actor either. He's a weird fucking guy. He played in a movie he actually, this is a fun thing behind the scenes. So it's the graphic, but behind that movie, I don't remember the name of it, but he played like in a weird movie when he was like an obsessed, weird, fucked up guy who joins into a family and stuff like that. One of the dead characters who are, dead people who are in the grave, he has sex with the dirt, and he actually put his wiener in the dirt in real life in that
Come
movie.
on, dude.
He is a really weird fucking actor.
That
I
was a
don't like
lot of
that act.
that was a lot of interesting information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
TMI,
Yeah.
TMI.
not
that's
it's
gonna
it's
be
official
about
records of him talking about the movie. When they talked about,
That's
they
two.
said it straight out. Not my
That's 2
fault.
minutes I'll never get back in my life. Thank
That's
you.
right. Thank you, Jason.
And hail to Ironcaster. Making a character buy is like bowling in a bumper lanes. Yeah. No, it's like I say, you should just written Catwoman a lot better in the movie because she had interesting aspects to her story that could have
It's
worked with just
it
a better
always
writing.
it always comes down to the what if. What if they did this? What if they
I
did
know,
that? And
but
the with the Joker, and I've had this argument with a few people before. It's like, doesn't the Joker need to be there if Batman's there? I'm like, no.
No.
We've already proven this that he doesn't.
Mm.
Why
at least
don't we?
in these three movies that they have planned, you don't need Joker in them,
If
to be honest. But
if you're writing a script for Batman 2, you already got it set up with the Penguin. If you watch the Penguin show, then you got Batman and the Penguin going at it, like fighting. Just continue there while he's causing all these problems. You don't need the Joker. You don't need Catwoman back. I mean, I wouldn't put Catwoman back, but that's just because I have a problem with
Yeah.
That's a personal bias right there.
that's just yeah.
I noticed.
I don't mind if she came back, but if she comes back, I want the writing from the Penguin, at least with her. But again, we're not gonna see it for a while. And again, I'm happy for Pattinson to be casted in Dune 3, and I'm
Yeah, that's fine.
looking forward to Dune 3. I hope that's gonna be a great movie. The only bias I have with that is Zendaya playing the same shit in every movie, but that's about it. And yeah, that's actually all the one of the main stuff to talk about. And Cash, you came in really late. We are actually over the 2-hour mark, but
Oh, I see that. It's all right.
So we got an article we saved for you to read.
Oh, right. Sure, Baron. Hilarious. I did hear today that 15 countries are getting their PlayStation
yeah, you know what?
subscription raised.
We can
It's
take that
crazy.
too. You can take that up. So we will do 2 more articles. Both of them are gonna go really fast, at least. And one thing for me that I am excited for, I don't care about the fucking haters. They can go and suck a dick, but
Wow, dude, so
Wow.
much sucking again. Come on, man.
but I am excited for Devil May Cry anime officially getting a season 2. The people who enjoyed it, we knew they were gonna do a season 2. And I'm not gonna spoil the series and stuff like that for the people who still want to watch it. But what I'm gonna say, this is also one of the final performances you will get from Kevin Conroy. He played a massive role in this series. Unfortunately, he's passed away, so he's not gonna be able to play the character again. We do have another actor who's voiced a little bit the same character in the show. You've actually 2 voice actors for the character. The other guy did some lines in certain episodes of the stuff that Kevin Conroy didn't get to do because of his passing. So I have a feeling they will go to him to do the respecting what Kevin Conroy did with the character, and continue on from there. I will say I love that they are doing a lot of mirroring to the games and a lot of showing off to all the different games of 1 to 5, having all this side stuff and looks and mirroring a lot of it. I really enjoyed what they did with that, and I actually did enjoy a lot of the changes they did to it because it works in that universe. And I did listen, I'm not a biggest fan of the guy who did the show because he has done, the Castlevania stuff. I'm not going to talk too much
Yeah.
about Castlevania stuff because
Yeah.
I have only watched 2 episodes or
Right,
something,
right.
or I don't know how many, 2 or 3, maybe, I don't fucking know. But I enjoyed the differences. It works on this show. And I know that he talked about, he's a big fan of The Dark Knight, so he wanted to take inspirations from The Dark Knight to the show, and the way they rewrite some stories and make it into this world. I loved it for what it was. Yes, I have a problem with the song with Green Day, but for the show itself, it works. For
Whoa!
for
What do
the
you
show.
have? What are you talking about? You have a problem with the song? That's a brilliant song. That's one of the best
No,
songs I ever
it's not the
did.
song. It is the context of the scene
Okay,
they're
I
using in
love
it.
that. I love Green Day. So yeah,
Yeah, I like Green Day. I like Green Day too. Don't get me wrong. I like old school Green Day. I'm not a fan of their political views and what, but it
Yeah, you
is
don't
when
need to be.
we know what part of politics they are and how stupid they can be. And I can understand people's side on the way they look at it at that scene, but for the overall show, it works to a point. And I didn't hate it as much as others with that, but I was like, yeah, sure. I rolled my eyes, like, yeah, okay, sure. But the show gets like an 8 out of 10 from me. I really enjoyed it, and I am heavily fucking excited for a season 2. I'm absolutely gonna watch it when it comes out, and I just want more of this. So I'm excited for this. That's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna spoil anything from the show. That's all I'm gonna say. So people, I recommend the show. Even if you're a fan of the
haven't
game, I
watched
still recommend it.
haven't watched it, but I never really tried the game too much. I played a little bit. I do want to play them eventually again. But news I read today, I'll include wrestling into this. Kenny Omega is going to be voicing in season 2 because he's a diehard
Yes,
gamer. If anybody doesn't
yes,
know,
he
so
is.
Kenny's going to be. He's like, yes,
And
I'm going to
I'm
go
also
voice
gonna
somebody.
say this: the guy who plays Dante is the guy who plays Nero, the son of Virgil, in the games. Same voice actor, and he did a great fucking version of Dante when Dante is young. And a lot of people are complaining, oh, but Dante isn't like the super powerful that he's in the games. Like, no, again, he is young and reckless. Like the third game, he's still young and reckless and stuff like that. He has to build up to become the Dante that we are more familiar with when it comes to his personality. But he still has the personality of being, funny and serious when he has to. He has all of that, and just great performance. Fuck, I know. I will praise this show for what it is. And to everybody who says, oh, but Lady was so terrible in this and she's so super woke in it. And no, she was not woke in this fucking show. Lady has always been a fucking badass in the fucking games. And her story is fucking heartbreaking if you go into the games. They did rewrite her backstory a little bit in the show, but it works for the show, and it's still a heartbreaking story connected to her father and everything. I felt the story like, yeah, even though it's a lot of rewritten stuff here, but it still mirrors to the game to a certain point. I like her story. I think she looked great in the fucking show. I don't care what people say. I liked her character, the way she was in it. And when she quote unquote beat up Dante, no, she didn't beat him up in a fight. She used a weapon to stun him. That's why he was stunned. And the first time they meet in the games, the first thing that she does also is shooting him in the fucking head. So.
Yeah, that's weird. Nowadays, a woman can't be strong, or they call it woke. It's not the way that works. You can force a narrative,
it's
yes,
all
but there's
about
strong women.
context. All about
Exactly.
context of
Thank
how you do it.
Yeah.
And no,
like going back to the Sue Storm thing, that looks dumb. But
yes,
her character, yeah. So
exactly.
it's the way it's done. So
no, so I'm excited for season 2. I'm just gonna, wait, and I'm gonna rewatch this show a couple of times. I know that my son wants to watch it, and I also know that my girlfriend wants to watch it. So I'm gonna rewatch it a couple of times and probably watch it with them too. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, and we are gonna get into the final article. Cash, please, you bring up the prices and stuff like that you talked about.
Okay. Let me find it.
Yeah, since you came in late, we can do that.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
Huzzah.
All right.
Amazing. Do you have it?
Yes, amazing. Yeah, I have it.
Good.
Presenting it right now.
Good boy.
Funny. All right. There we go.
Professional. He's a professional, everybody.
Yeah.
So introduce us to all this. Cash, you have the floor.
Yeah.
Push.
This is just more. This is
Who's
not.
Zip Davis?
No, Liam Croft wrote this. It's just this is the price of the PlayStation Plus subscriptions. For some reason, according to Sony, they explained that the increases for these 15 countries, including El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico, and Colombia, and all the Chile, Bolivia, Argentina, Uruguay, Peru. They say that the increases are a result of global market conditions. By increasing the prices, it says it can continue offering high quality games and value added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription.
Oh shit!
I just
that's
yeah.
a little bit of bullshit.
So these prices reflect a $10 increase for 12 months on PlayStation Plus Essential, a 14 increase for 12 months of PlayStation Plus Extra, and an 18 increase for PlayStation Plus Deluxe. And that final one isn't PlayStation Plus Premium, by the way. It's PlayStation Plus Deluxe. This is an option Sony offers countries that can stream PS3 games, so it's a worse deal. Yeah, it's messed up.
It's messed up.
It really is.
Sounds like something Jace would come up with.
What the fuck?
Uruguay, Paraguay, Nicaragua. I mean,
Costa
it's just
Rica.
why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
No,
They already hired
just
them.
Ecuador. Yep. Yeah, I don't. This is then Sony's been pulling stuff, and I saw a comment the other day that I think goes along with the same lines with PlayStation Plus. It's like, I have these games, I played these games years ago, or I'm just not interested in these games. And I think whatever people want to believe, I feel with Game Pass for doing the 3 months, and I think doing the 3 months or 1 month for PlayStation Plus, just the original tier, I think you can still get something out of it. But I gotta say, like, Game Pass is still pretty cool. I mean, I can be down on Microsoft, but Game Pass is on everything. You can get it on your phone, you can get it on your consoles, you can get it on this
PC and yeah.
Yep. Everything. I think it's a better deal. Yeah. But I think if you do the 3 months, and I've said this to people before, you do the 3 months or the 1 month, I think that's good. The only one that I would say, especially with GameCube games coming, is the Switch 2 for the $50, unless they're going to raise it, which hopefully they don't. But that's the only one I would say doing for the year, or the $20. I just don't think Game Pass or PlayStation Plus is worth it for the year. I still don't. And I think it's messed up that 15 countries, and it just seems like some bullshit. Global market conditions. Right.
Especially use the word tariffs.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if that's what they're gonna go with, that excuse or whatever. Which I know the tariffs have paused. What a surprise! I mean, however you feel about Donny Boy, he said that during the campaign, that if he's going to assess the market if he needs to. So that's what he said. So whatever.
It's also
take that for what it is. That's right. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. This is stupid, of course, but
Cash is deep in the cabinet, so he knows.
Right.
I know
He
exactly.
and Elon's tight.
So, any final
Yeah,
thoughts
sure.
about it, guys?
Yeah.
Mine, I'll give mine 2 cents. I haven't had PS Plus in about 2 years now. I needed it because I couldn't play Destiny without it, which sucked because you need to have
Yeah.
PS Plus to play online gaming, which that's why I moved to PC for certain games because you
Yeah.
don't need it for PC.
No, you
And
just
it really
need an
sucks.
internet connection. You're still paying. You're just not paying the extra, right?
Exactly. And it sucks because I lost a lot of the free games. That's I did like. And my buddy just told me the Turtles game was available for PS Plus recently. Because I always get the basic one. I'd get the yearly one, but I get the basic. But you'd still get 3 free games a month. And I guess the Turtles one, which I really wanted, it's like I still gotta get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I lost most of those games. Luckily, I've rebought some of them on my own, like Mad Max, and Amalar and all them, because I was like, I had them for free. I'll just buy them. But I liked it because you got a few free games and once in a while be a fun game. But I just couldn't afford it anymore. It got too expensive. I was like, no. So I moved a lot of the PC. And the sad part is you got to re-download all the DLCs for like Destiny. I got to buy them again. But whatever. I just hated paying that yearly expenditure because it went up then. And now, luckily for Canada and States, it doesn't go up. But it went up like, about a year ago anyway. So it's like, and
exactly.
I've read that PS Plus is better. If I was to get a subscription, I would get the Xbox One. I would get Game Pass before I would get that. So.
Yep. No, good final thoughts, and we are going to start wrap up and stuff like that. But I have a little thing. Joseph Quinn did address his version of Human Torch real fast. And we can just say it like that. His version is more intact with people's feelings, and it's going to be a lot different than the comic and older versions of it, according to the actor himself.
No thanks. Well, that Sue Storm film turned me off from the Sue Storm thing, wanting to be, she was a doormat, now she's not, which she never was. Now that even turns me off even more. So yeah, I'm not going. I'll just
didn't Chris Evans actually get the character right?
He did. He was a womanizer. He was funny. Like, he is the character. That's how they wrote him. Exactly. But according to Joseph Quinn, who plays the character, he was branded this womanizing devil may care guy. He was. And this version of Johnny is less caucus with other people's feelings. So he cares more about people's feelings and more sincere and more nice guy. Less women in his life, maybe they will turn him gay.
He'll be gay. He'll be a gay vegan hippie. Yay.
That is a shame. But
he's a metrosexual now.
Other than that, we are going to go around the table and we are going to start, of course, with Mr. Techno Sapien Geek himself.
Hi. Not much going on, really.
Get him off! Get him off!
What am I doing? I finished The Days Gone. The News Days Gone thing is going to be coming out on April 22nd. The expansion, the DLC, is only like $10 extra, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be new weapons, new missions. There's going to be extension to it, and if it does good, hopefully we get a part 2. That's the big rumor, because it's starting to get traction again, and a lot of people are talking about it, how it was such a sleeper hit, which it was. It sold over 7 million copies. It came out at the same time as some other big name games, so that's why but whatever. So I've decided, since I finished that, the horde hunting and the story, I'm doing Fallout 3 again. I'm recording a bunch of stuff now. I'll get that out in the next short while too, but more Let's Plays and stream, because StreamYard is a pain in the ass for how many hours if you don't pay for it. It's like, and I'm using that for my wrestling stuff, because with WrestleMania coming up in the next week, actually, because this past weekend in 2 weeks, WrestleMania, and I've been trying to build a wrestling show. I'm trying to add wrestling to the channel and building it up, and I'm hoping to get some more people. I've been talking to some people to add that, to do more talk on that. So that's about it, really. And besides being on your show, Mike's show, just keeping busy, and hopefully my other buddy Mark, who I'm just going to promote this quickly if you don't mind. Scared Souls, his book, I'm hoping to get him on Mike's show eventually. He's a fellow Star Wars fan. He the biggest Star Wars fan I ever met. He knows his stuff, and he's got 3 novels. There's actually a trailer, an AI trailer made for his first book. He's got 3 of them out to do with this character. Amazing character, amazing novels. And I'm hoping to promote his stuff here and hopefully get him on. I lent him my snowball mic that I used to start when I started podcasting, and I'm hoping to get him into this thing too, because he knows his stuff. So, but we'll wait and see. So
Yeah, get him on here, man, if he wants to.
Yeah.
He's allowed to come in here whenever he wants.
He's a good guy, man, and he knows his stuff. When it comes to our culture, he knows his stuff. So
I think he should only be allowed in here when we have a show, though, because then he'd be talking so much.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Just
come on.
saying. So
he
not
is
anytime.
welcome. He is
He's not
welcome
welcome
here.
anytime, just when we have a show.
Oh yeah, right. No, but he's welcome
we
here.
have to be
He's welcome
specific.
to join a show if he ever wants to and talk about his work and stuff like that. Always welcomed. And then, of course, anything more you want to promote?
No, not really. No, not that I can
Where-
think of. Yeah, I got a book, but I haven't thrown. I still got to go on some podcasts with that, so I'm just leaving that quiet for now, and then I'm trying to.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
That.
Yeah,
I
give us
don't
an
even
address.
know.
Give us an address. We want to stop by.
Other
and
shows
party.
you're
Come
on. You know, we are on the Friday shows and Thursday shows sometimes.
Techno Sapien Geek.
Tuesdays.
That's where you can find me. Mike's show, your show, the Beyond. When we can never do a Skullcast, we haven't been forever for do that one. I want to do that. We can talk more about wrestling and stuff and happy
We
things.
are doing
and
one on
happy thoughts.
Saturday. I have it
So,
set up and ready.
But yeah, just I'm everywhere. I'm so frazzled right now. Just busy times. But yeah, I'm everywhere. I'll probably be on Mike's show because Mike's back again doing his show again this week. So I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow as well. So and
Yep.
stuff.
You know, I got a link too, so I'm excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And other than that too, we do have we will take Mr. Late Money.
Late money. I like that. That's good.
Eurocash.
Eurocash. That's right. Yeah. So Baron and I, we just have to talk to you, Jace, and make sure everything's. I don't know if everything's now set up with StreamYard and stuff, and we can use the stuff.
Not yet.
Okay. So we'll just have to wait then, Baron, because we're starting to talk. We can just. Baron and I, of course, are starting to talk about once we get that set up again, Jace. Then we'll start cranky old fans up again. So,
yeah,
I'm cranky.
Mm-hmm. The Phantom Hooligan stuff. I'm still now that recently I just got a computer that can actually run Marvel Rivals, and Baron actually enjoyed Marvel Rivals, and Mike and I were hoping he would. Have you played that anymore, Baron? Since we played that day?
Actually, no, I haven't.
No,
but, yeah, but
I haven't played.
I think I do pretty good, so I'm not too.
Yeah,
worried
you
about
did,
it.
man. You're fine.
I credit Space Marine too. That's what I do.
Yeah. So yeah,
Or the Emperor.
I'm just working on that. I've got to get OBS on still on the computer and make sure everything runs there on the laptop. So if it does, then it should be fine. We do a few hours of that. If not, surprisingly, a lot of this other stuff still runs on the computer. It just looks like I'm going to be waiting until summer before I finally upgrade my desktop. But thank goodness I have the laptop. But.
Yeah,
See,
right.
It's not that hard. What you do is you go to the website, Cash, at the OBS. You find the thing that says Windows. You click on that. Not the one that
I don't
says
remember,
Mac.
man.
You get
Which
the one
is it?
Windows. Yeah, get Windows, and you download it. And and in a blink of an eye, boom, there it is.
That's
it's on
crazy,
the computer.
Man. I don't know.
You've been waiting for 3 months now to get OBS. It's like, come on, man.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know.
OBS is finicky. I will say that because I have it for my PC, my desktop. It's laptop.
And Charlotte
perfect.
C says
Yeah.
Baron's proving he's a closet gay.
No, I'm a wardrobe gay, not a closet gay. Get it right.
But so yeah, we're just
and hail to Charlotte.
We're just working on that stuff, and so then after that, the Cash Money 007 and the other stuff will be back. So just still working on that stuff with the. But I know Friday night multiplayer stream needs to come back. Not the words that Phil uses for it because he's wrong. So.
Yeah.
But he'll call it that because we haven't done a stream.
Who is
in a while,
Phil?
Of course.
Why is Phil?
Yeah, I know, but
Justice
he'll
for Phil's troll victims. That's
he'll
all I
bring
gotta
up
say.
this. He's like, "Oh, you guys are even talking about me when I'm not around." So
Yeah, of
Phil's
course.
in the main event at Mania night 1 this year. So hey.
But so yeah, I'm just getting things back in order there, Chase. Right now.
Yep. And if that's it, we will go to Mr. Baron Orman Baca. Exactly. Great stuff. Great stuff. I agree. Go and sub to
Okay.
his OnlyFans.
Yeah, only for furry fans, because I'm a Wookiee. Okay, folks. Well, I'll translate what I said there in Wookiee. Is you can catch me and Cash Monet as well as the host of the show himself, Mike. Sometimes we call him Doc Pop, but he doesn't like that. But we say that behind his back. But that's over at Pacific 414 every Wednesday and Sunday for Pop Talk. That's right, Pop Talk. The three of us discussed various topics. You never know what we might actually talk about, or however, how long the show goes either. I can't talk. But on Sundays, you can catch us at noon Central Daylight Time, 1 Eastern. And on Wednesdays, 5 Central Daylight Time, 6 Eastern. And usually on Wednesday, the last hour is a Rumble only exclusive hour. What did I do wrong now?
I didn't see it.
Of course I didn't see it. I was too busy talking.
Well, continue.
Yeah. So please join us there. Again, that's over at Pacific 414. It's Pop Talk. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. Well, I usually promote Jace, but I'm not going to do it today. I don't care to. So that's all I got really up my sleeve right at this moment. Oh, and keep an eye out for me over at Pops' now and then. I've been filming some episodes of shows, and we'll be filming some stuff. So movies that we haven't seen, cult favorite stuff like that. Pop and I talked about this morning the film. What did we talk about? Oh, The Rocketeer. Yeah, we talked about The Rocketeer this morning.
Great movie. Great
good
movie.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Classic.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the one we talked about with Transers has been released already. So, go over the Pops channel. You can catch that and all the other ones he talks about. So, but yeah, it sounds like he has some plans to have me come back and talk about various other things. So I look forward to that. Other than that, I can't say anything else besides thank you.
Yeah, no, well said. Well said.
No, it wasn't well said. I flubbed
Chase,
up. I was a failure. What?
Hi, Jace. Okay, can I say something before you give your final goodbye? I said this on Mike's show too, and I want to say it with this one. I've been lucky enough to be on some shows with some good people. Recently, one of the other guys in the other show had his channel messed up. Appion, you know him.
Yeah.
Excellent guy.
Yes.
I'm lucky enough to be on a show with people that I genuinely think are genuine. Him, Pop, and Mike. Well, Mike I've known for 30 years. As we're real life friends. They're good people. And I can say this now, getting to know you guys over time. You guys seem genuinely real people because you see, there's a lot of idiots out in this world. There is people that are bitter, angry, blah 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 blah, and all you guys, even Kilton, you all seem like genuinely good people. So thank you for allowing me in this world and just being with good people.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor to have you part of the team and our friendship. It is an honor
because it's nice to have just genuinely good-natured people than some of the idiots you see on this online thing that are seem bitter, angry.
Exactly.
Just I don't get it. We're here to have fun.
Drama farming and shit and
don't give Kilton too much credit for one, and second of all, Cash is an AI. So
yes, I am. I'm hacking into Baron stuff right now.
One of my best friends is an AI. So yeah.
But thank you for being part of all of this. I love that. We love you, buddy. You're a great friend and a great guy. And thank you for the good words.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a wrestling champ. Look at that.
He's a wrestling god. He's the wrestling god.
He'll put
WWE hire me as a photographer.
If you want to learn anything about wrestling, this is the guy to go to because he's the god of that fucking universe, and he knows everything.
He'll rip your head off and poop down your neck if you're not careful. Take you into the ring and teach you. It's Tom, the Techno Sapien Geek.
I was lucky enough to train with the Heart Camp for 2 weeks. I only stayed for 2 weeks at the Heart Camp back in the 90s. Then I came home for a girl. Nothing happened there. Darn! But, and I was a booker for a company and a photographer for a company. WWB, you can hire me. Anyway, Sorry.
But with that, of course, with me, you can always find me here, of course, with the great friends and panels that I have. And sometimes, of course, you will find me, as you know, Techno said, with Comic Relief Crusader. Tomorrow, we're gonna be there, talk about some funny news and some stuff that's going on in the pop culture world and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Sometimes you do find me with Sir Talks a Lot over on his channel when he does his What the F Food. A lot of fun stuff when he torture you with food crimes. Oof, you know, it is something. So I try to be there as often as I can and am able to. And sometimes I also am with, of course, Vinyl Revival, where we talk about music and the origin of a lot of the artists, bands, and stuff like that. And I am also going to be interviewed on that show at some point, talking about the music that I create, that I love, and my inspirations, and you know, other various stuff that I'm really excited to do. I have never been interviewed according with my music, so that's gonna be the first and interesting. I do know another YouTuber who is part of Vinyl Revival, Pope Mechalicus, but he is also he wants to do a video, a show, a video where we interview me and talk about my metal album and going through the songs and inspirations and lyrics and stuff like that. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm working on other couple projects. As I said, I have basically finished up the whole story of the Forsaken book. I also got, you know, Cash on board, and you know he's looking through it, you know, helping a little bit out with it, and you know, writing some context and some more things into it, and you know, make it a little bit better. So, but other than that, I am basically finished with the story. Just some small things left and some things here and there, and excited to get that out when we get to that part. And sometimes you can also find me with Kilted on Wednesdays when I get time and talk about, you know, a lot of different stuff. Right now, we have talked a lot about, of course, Daredevil, Bore Again. I know, I do know, Tom, you like it a little bit better than us. So, you know, I'm happy for you that you like it a lot more than us. You know, that's what
I didn't see
matters.
it.
If you like it, you
Hey,
like
compared
it.
to the original, it doesn't touch it, but I can see why. I still killing Foggy, you assholes. But
And
Oh, he's passionate.
oh, he is,
yes,
he is. But other than that, you know, I have a lot of other projects here and there that you know, at some point will be done and created. But other than that, you know, also if you do need an editor when it comes to film and videos and stuff like that, I do work as a film and video editor. I've been doing that for many, many years. That was my profession before I started YouTube and still continue to this day. So if you are interested, I am always up to hire, for hire, and do what you need to have the stuff that you need to be worked on and stuff like that. I'm really nice with the prices. I'm a perfectionist, and you know, so if you ever need one, I'm always here. And if you can't contact me, you can always try to contact my co-hosts and stuff like that, and they can get in touch with me. So, but other than that, thank you to everybody who's been watching, and will watch this later on. And I will just say, as I always do, just remember, life's too short. Make the most of it. And we in 540 Studio, we love you, we appreciate you, and none of us could have been here today if it wasn't for all of you great peeps out there. Thank you for the love, and thank you for the inspiration. It means the world to us. And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great one.